All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome. It is Monday, February 21st. I'm joined along by Dustin and Greg. Rob will be here momentarily. We got a great show packed for you, ladies and gentlemen. Brian Flores to Pittsburgh. Does that mean his lawsuit is invalid? There's an IQ test going around because if you say Juwan Howard needs to be fired, you're a moron. All due disrespect, of course. Jordan Love, supposedly he was supposed to be the next man up for the Packers, and well, he about to get out of town. Before we get into any of that, Dustin, how you doing this morning?
Good, just sitting at the airport waiting for my flight head home, but other than that, good.
Word. That's what's up. Greg, how you feeling today?
Feeling good, man. It's Monday. It is a new week. The All-Star game was good, so the weekend was good.
The All-Star game was solid. We're gonna talk about that dunk contest because I want to tell y'all how I believe it should be fixed. Like I got the perfect, like for all the hoopla, I know how to fix it perfectly. But we'll get into that later. But first and foremost, let's just get right into it. So apparently, Juwan Howard is Satan. He's trash. He is Hitler reincarnated. That's the rumor going around. And we got somebody. What's up, Whip? How you feeling, bro?
What's going on, man? Sorry I was late, fellas, but I already heard y'all talking about Juwan Howard, so I'm ready for this one.
No, we gonna get right into it because I saw, and there's multiple videos from now different angles, which showed that the Wisconsin head coach was trying to grab Juwan Howard. Mm-hmm. I don't care where you're from. I don't, because there's this writer who said, "Oh well, he was in the south side of Philly or south side of Chicago, and he needs to let that go." You put your hands on a man, you're gonna get your hands put back. Okay, and can we stop pretending like he cold-cocked an elderly man? Okay, listen, I'm being serious now. I'm being serious. Greg Gard is only 3 years older than Juwan Howard. I am 24 years of age. If I go and punch a 27-year-old, did I punch a grown man?
Yeah.
There's this article. Listen to this. Listen, this is an exact quote, and this is how you know, dude should not everyone should be writing. This right here, let me know. This is what a supposedly a professional wrote. Gard appeared to be trying to talk to Howard, who became increasingly agitated. As their teams tried to separate the two, Howard reached out and struck a Wisconsin assistant coach in the head. That triggered a general struggle between the two teams. Howard had to be pushed away from the smaller, older Gard. That bozo is only 3 years older. That's one. Two, you just saw him hit somebody. By the way, it was a slap. Let's not act like he cold-cocked him, like, out of nowhere. All right. That's one. And two, now people are attempting. What's up, Jay? How you feeling today?
What up? What up, Pride?
Like, now people are trying to say that Juwan Howard needs to be fired. I don't know why, but this almost seems like the consensus. I don't know if I don't know what it is, but all of a sudden everyone was calling for him to be fired.
Should he get a raise?
You said what?
Should he get a raise?
He should be the president. What? What?
So I mean, we're gonna really condone. I mean, come on, we're really gonna condone.
If we're gonna fire him, we need to fire the assistant that put his hands on him.
I'm not opposed.
If we're gonna do that, now I'm not firing Juwan Howard.
Hold on. Fire him. But look, I'm not opposed to that. I'm not opposed to the dude that walked up from Wisconsin out of nowhere, the assistant coach that came off the bench that was not a part of the argument that was going on and stepped in front, walked his way through the pile, and gotten in Juwan and said whatever he said. because whatever he said triggered Juwan to swing.
Yeah,
Juwan didn't swing on Wisconsin's coach.
No,
Nope.
Let's be specific. So he swung on the assistant that had nothing to do with it. That was a minute, 2 minutes into the altercation when he stepped into the pile and said what he said. And not only did he say whatever he said, because we don't know, but he worked his way to Juwan. He pushed through every person that was in that circle to make his way to say whatever the heck he said to Juwan Howard. So I'm not opposed to any of them getting removed from the situation. But we're not going to condone it. Come on now. We can't condone the fact that we have collegiate players fighting again, like we seen last year. We can't condone that part. It's the way he handled it, and that's always been, and that's the messed up part about who was involved. Is Juwan Howard's always been looked at as the way he handles his anger. It's not anything else. It's just when he gets angry, he doesn't handle his anger well. And this is another example, unfortunately. I love Juwan Howard. I do.
I would agree with you. I would if it was a situation where they were trying to walk away. And what I mean by like the Wisconsin head coach, like we need to understand when he did what he did to the assistant, right? Both of them are. It's not like either one of them is like, oh yeah, let's turn our backs and defuse the situation.
Correct.
Mhm.
So I that is why, in my opinion, when I see Juwan Howard screaming, I don't care. I don't care. And let's not act
I
like
don't care about that part either.
Slap him either. No, I'm not saying you're saying this. I'm just letting you know, like my thought process.
Yeah,
on
no,
it.
I'm
not saying you're saying that.
I'm agreeing with you so far. I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah. So like, I'm not saying fire him. If you want to suspend him, fine. That's fine, because I'm not opposed to that. But all I'm saying is we need to put context. Because if you're saying Juwan Howard needs to be fired, and I told Greg this and Dustin before we started, if you think he needs to be fired, you're a moron.
Why
That is my thing right there. Fired? Come on, dog. Hey, listen.
No.
I'm totally with reprimanding. I am totally
suspending. I'm with
nobody's questioning that. But to say dog needs to be out of here, come on, man. No.
And now again, I didn't say he should be fired.
Okay.
Jay, we're not coming at you because you're saying
and
yeah, because we all agree there needs to be some punishment.
I'm not opposed to it. And understand again, Juwan Howard has a track record of not handling his anger correctly. This is not a one-time thing. So this is the first time that he's put hands on somebody on national television as far as being in the coaching position. But this is not a one-time thing. So if they came out and they handed down him and fired him, I would not be opposed. I wouldn't be upset. It wouldn't be outlandish to me, is what I'm coming at. Because Juwan has that reputation. And it could be if we could, let's flip the script. And we're talking about, because Penny Hardaway, he gets his feathers get ruffled a lot and he goes at it. Now let's flip the script. If it was something of that nature, maybe the harshness of the punishment, I would be like, all right, y'all should give him a chance. But Juwan has been through this already. Juwan Howard is known for acting out with his anger.
This is where I gotta give you pushback, because you just said this is the first time he put hands on somebody
As a coach.
So he's never been in this situation then.
As a coach.
That's what I'm saying. As a coach.
Whoa, hold on. I gotta jump in here. So you trying to tally from past Fab Five stuff to what's going on now?
I'm not tallying.
If we doing that, then we can't talk to Meta. We can't talk to Meta no more. He can't be.
All I'm saying is, again, if I look at the full thing of Juwan, I'm not taking the incident itself and putting, but Juwan has this track record. So if they did that, I wouldn't be surprised, is what I'm trying to get at, because of the reputation that Juwan has built for himself over time. And again, we're not gonna play that. We're not gonna pretend like he doesn't have that other thing hanging over his head as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if it happened, is what I'm getting at.
So okay, let me put you on the spot, because
I don't think he should be fired.
Oh, okay, I was about to say, because Whip, I don't know, man. It sounded like he was tiptoeing,
It sounded like he was leading.
It sounded like you would fire him.
Be in the sports media comments talking
Gotcha,
about get
okay.
rid of him. I'm like,
So-
wait a minute, dog.
So I just
You
want
got
to make
two
sure
accounts.
I just want to make sure I'm hearing you right. So you're saying you wouldn't fire him, but because of his reputation and
I wouldn't
him
be
kind of being
surprised.
that dude, you wouldn't be surprised if they actually
Correct.
went out and fired him. Okay.
Correct.
Dustin,
I think he should definitely be suspended for the rest of the year.
you think rest of the year?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
How many games are left in the season?
Maybe less than 10 or less.
I think it's 5. I think it's 5.
Yeah, he should be an attorney.
Man, that I can agree with that.
Suspend him to the playoff or to the March Madness?
You gotta suspend him for March Madness, and you gotta suspend him for the rest of the year, bro. You gotta make a statement with it. It was on every single media outlet. You have to make a statement.
Yeah, like I said, suspension, I get it. I do 110%. But to say this is a fireable offense, I don't understand it because a lot of people are making it seem like Juwan Howard instigated it and it was just slapping everybody and their mother. Like, Jay, don't do it. Don't do it.
Man on national television, y'all.
Yeah, they said they punched him. I was like, nah, homie, that was
He open hand slapped him.
Yeah, he was like, yo, you know what?
That was
now, let me ask you brothers this, because I am from the Michigan area. Did you guys actually see what Juwan said in response to why he did what he did?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now I would like you guys to let them know, let the audience know what he said, and could y'all respond to that? What do you think the reason is behind that? Do you agree with his reasoning?
To an extent.
Well, just in case the audience doesn't know, it's basically what you stated. He said he tried to walk away by the gentleman grabbing him. That was so it was a cause and effect thing.
Yeah.
That's
he said he don't like nobody grabbing him.
Yeah. Which again, and then he did say that he brought up that he was he's from South Side of Chicago or Detroit. And he said he don't like that, and you know what I mean. Like he started basically he's saying that the mindset of him. Well, this is not exactly what he said, but the mentality has. I grew up. If you put hands on me, I'm gonna put hands on you back. Now the way he said it, he ain't say it normally.
How do you say that normally?
Like he was. When Juwan Howard talks, and I like Juwan Howard. I have nothing but respect for him. But he's the most boring talker. If he's not mad, he's boring.
He's a very smart individual.
No,
I give you that. He talks slow and collective.
Yes, it's out of this world. But he talks like a high school science teacher. Like if I was talking to him and he wasn't mad, like I would fall asleep within 20 minutes. Like no lie, right?
Right.
But like when I saw it, like you can tell, like the way he was moving and the way his body language. If Bart was still in that room, he would have fought him.
Now, let me ask you brothers this, man, because we know how the entertainment world works. Whether we want to admit it or not, sports is entertainment. It's money. Right. As you stated, it's been all over media.
Correct.
Let's say Michigan, after a day or two, gets their PR people, their marketing team out there. They give a different statement. They get Juwan to apologize. We don't do that. We don't move like that in the University of Michigan. How do you guys feel like that will? Do you think it'll change anything? The perception of him or Michigan as a whole?
No, I mean,
he has apologized.
I'm talking about one of them.
He's talking about them PRs.
He's talking about a PR apology.
The letterhead.
Yeah, the letter.
There's a difference, yo.
Where it looked like you an actor, and you know what I'm saying. You read the script, but you gotta make it come out like it's really your words. You know what
he up there, the teleprompter. And today, I would like to thank everyone who
for being here. I want to apologize to those that I have offended with my actions.
Exactly. Say something like I'm going to take some therapy on my violence or something. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of stuff you know what I'm talking about. That's what they do, man.
Let me actually piggyback off of that because Rob, you said he apologized.
Yeah.
Do you think that apology would be enough for their PR team? Like,
no. But I'm saying he's already trying to do damage control. It's not like he's letting this thing simmer. He don't have it in the crock pot and letting it simmer. He's already trying to jump ahead of it. So. I mean, and I understand being a Chicagoan, we come from a city where, you know, if you're not the first one to touch, you're getting touched. So I can understand the sentiment, but also I also have to say, come on, Juan, you grown, bro. Like you grown. Like you can't bring the hood into corporate settings. Like, did Benny Siegel not teach you anything?
But you know what though? I agree with that. But the one thing behind it I have to say though, don't you think that's probably because I'm actually from Detroit? Don't you think that's probably what makes his players connect with him? Because they like, dog is real. You know what I'm saying? He's not like one of our old 80-year-old white coaches. He's real. He'd probably put them in his truck, listen to hip hop on the way to practice, and we dropping them off.
That's that connection that Dion has.
That Dion said is right.
Yeah.
Perfect analogy.
I agree with you guys. I don't condone the fighting, but did you see how the boys is ready to ride or die with him as soon as it started?
Right. But
Like,
that should be.
Hey, Will, that was ready to
That's a
ride
double-edged
for
sword,
him.
though. But that's a double-edged sword right there,
But
though.
see,
I agree.
Well, hold on.
Go ahead.
You know what I mean?
Let me say this. Because I'm right there with you in the same wavelength. But we also got to take a step back and not focus on Michigan. What happened last year when what was it, Kansas? Was it Kansas? Was it the Jayhawks when they got in that squad?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah, that went into the.
Oh yeah, you talking about
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So and they came down hard on them young dudes. They came down hard on them young dudes.
Yep,
so Jawan, I'm sorry. I love you, bro. But I ain't got no sympathy because they came down hard on them young dudes last year. Really hard.
And he should know better.
Right.
As a coach, you should know better.
I agree with that.
We can't sit up here and be like, oh, Jawan's my dude. He shouldn't. No, man. We got to be real all the way through.
Yeah.
And the way they did them dudes last year, he has no sympathy in my book because we just seen this. And they came down hard on them.
And not to mention, let's look at the elephant in the room, man. Let's not act like, hey, bro, you black. They already looking at you a certain way.
Exactly,
you know, so they as Jay alluded to, even though it wasn't his coaching history, they know your history. They know you have a tendency to overreact or to put your hands on people. So that, you know, that's not to say that they probably wasn't hesitant before they even gave you the job. So
and that's the part, Rob.
You get the job, and now you're like, you do everything that they thought you would have done. So now you have this stigma and this cloud over your head now.
Agreed.
And again, guys, I do want to, since we kick that door down, let's remember what else is going on in the media right now. Let's remember where else we're at in the media. We're also sitting with this Brian Flores situation. We're also sitting with the Deshaun Watson situation. We have so many layers of other things going on in the media. Jawan, I don't have any sympathy for you at the moment. I'm sorry.
Not for something you bought on yourself.
And listen, and again, I understand you not wanting to have sympathy to an extent. But when you tell a dude don't touch me and he's not letting you go,
hey,
do with that information
you know what though? I'm gonna tell you something. Juwan Howard didn't even walk. Juwan Howard didn't even walk to the handshake line for about a minute and a half during that
because he didn't want to.
So he was already knowing the situation where he was at. So again, I don't have any sympathy for him. I don't know where you.
But a dude is grabbing. Hold on.
He didn't have to get to that point. He didn't have to get to that point. He already knew he was mad.
Oh shit! I hit my mic. I just don't want Howard my mic. But like, cause he went and he didn't want to shake his hand, and Homeboy's grabbing him. Guard is grabbing him, and he said, "Don't touch me." And he's trying to
guard though.
He tried to
smack guard though.
I'm just saying, this is how it started.
He didn't even smack the guy that touched him.
Come on. I don't care.
I'm gonna agree with that. I'm gonna say this is
Juwan Howard, yo.
He is right though. Like I said, when he grabbed him, he checked my man. Don't touch me. But like I said, I'm just on the same wavelength. He can't be gone forever. Get rid of him for the rest of the season. I get that. But firing, no. I'm with that. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not giving up my black card and sign of him to be fired or be gone for the season. But I won't be the one to sign for him not to either. I'm just saying.
What he gets is what he kind of gets in this situation, and he reaped his own bed. Like he did this.
Yeah, Jawan should have handled that better. If you guys remember back in 09, the whole Pete Carroll, Jim Harbaugh thing. Remember when Pete Carroll came up to Jim Harbaugh and said, "What's your deal?" Now that could have went way left than what it did. Because
but no one
like he could throw balls.
Let's go, Freddie.
But it didn't go that way.
Because no one held on to each other.
That's what Jawan should. I felt like God grabs you, say, "Hey, dog, hey," just because with him grabbing you, he wants you to do something.
Right.
Yeah.
He wants you to do something.
Don't take the bait.
No, but here's the thing. You see, me and Jawan, we like this, bro. We just want to make everybody happy, right? So if you want something, I'll be more than happy to oblige. Who am I to deny you your happiness?
But pride.
If you want something,
that's what he wants.
You can have it.
Hey, it goes back to the old cliche, man. There is a time and a place for everything,
and
man.
A parking lot in every city,
and a locker room.
Hold on. You signing off that, Jay? That's crazy.
Hey, bro.
Hey,
as long as it's not in front of the camera.
Hey, what's the next time? We ain't gonna keep hitting my boy Jawan.
I mean, you're right. We're gonna move on, but let's be honest, though. Let's be honest. Melo did the same thing with KG. When KG said, "Hey, yo, your girl tastes like honey Cheerio," he said, "La tastes like pepper," and Melo tried to fight him afterwards.
Yeah, but that's a whole different thing.
That's
weird.
You expect that from players, though. It's different when you're a coach.
I'm just saying about the parking lot thing. I'm just saying about the parking lot.
I get you, but it's different.
Thank you, Rob.
That's
what Melo and KG. You know, KG was known for.
KG.
Hey, and why KG throw a vice lord? I'm like, boy, that boy represent everything.
Yo, he was heavy. And listen,
right.
And here's the thing. I'm okay, and I think me and Whip are on the same boat. I think you are, Jay, too, also to an extent. I don't want him fired because if he's fired, it's ridiculous. If you want to suspend him, I'm good with that. All I'm saying is we need to understand, like, people are just looking at the slap and then they're just saying, oh, he slapped him. That it is what it is. And I'm just saying, just look at the entire picture. If you look at the entire picture, you understand Juwan Howard was provoked. That's it.
He was provoked.
That's all I'm saying. Wait, free Juwan Howard.
You say free Juwan Howard, don't you say?
He should have
free
one.
Hey, man. We need
the thing that Juwan Howard needs to realize, though.
We need new captains, man.
Free one.
Go ahead, Dustin.
What'd you say?
The thing that Juwan Howard needs to realize, though, is look at who the commissioner of the Big Ten is.
Right.
And just look at how that commissioner handled COVID as opposed to how the other Power 5 conference commissioners handled COVID. He handles things completely different than the rest of the commissioners do.
He's the opposite.
So should he be, like, fired? No. But knowing who the commissioner of the Big Ten is, Juwan Howard very easily could get fired for this just because of how that Big Ten commissioner is. And that doesn't make it right, but Howard needs to realize who that commissioner is and how different he handles things as opposed to the other commissioners in college.
I agree.
And I think it was Whip who said it, like, whether you agree with what he did or not, Juwan Howard put himself in a very awkward position because he can do all the damage control he wants. It's not a guarantee it'll keep his job. It's not guaranteed. He kind of put himself in a position where, like,
it's out of Michigan's hands at this point. Honestly,
exactly. Like Michigan can defend you, but it's not really up to them whether or not they're going to keep you. Like, now that's out of their control. So now again, like to Dustin's point, you now put it on the hands of the commissioner who has proven time and time again one of these things just doesn't belong here. Like, he does the exact opposite of what everybody else does. Whether it's for the right reasons, whether it's for the wrong reasons, whether it's for no reason, whether it doesn't matter, he just wants to do the same thing. Like, he just wants to do something different. And I'm gonna go ahead, Jay.
No, I was just gonna say, that's a good way to segue into what Damian was asking here. The Pro Bowl versus the All-Star, because we were gonna talk about the All-Star game anyways.
I was going to, but if you want, we could plug that.
We can start off with this. This is a very good question. I don't think that the Pro Bowl, as far as the competition level with those greats, we're not going to fix that. The only way we can competition wise fix the Pro Bowl is if we had some sort of quote unquote rising stars type of situation,
right?
7-on-7.
Even the 7, I think it would be boring because they had the 7s in during those competition weeks a few years back during the Pro Bowls, and they were like celebrity. Remember Terrell Owens caught like a one-handed pass going over the thing one year, and I just don't think 7s would be that fun with those type of guys. I think you would still have that competition issue.
Fine, do 7-on-7s with Canadian football rules.
See, now you're doing some stuff I don't even know about.
Canadian football, you only have 3 downs to get a first down instead of 4. So if you don't get a first down on second down, you punt on third down. So go 7-on-7, go with the Canadian football rules and kind of force things to be done differently.
The only problem's gonna be is they're not trying to hurt each other during
exactly.
They are not gonna get aggressive no matter how less of people are on the field.
And that's why it's different for the Pro Bowl. That's why you can't fix the Pro Bowl. Because in football, it's a hard contact sport. The only way you could really fix it is if, in essence, instead of having everybody out there, guys get voted the Pro Bowl, and then you do out-of-position flag football. That way it's entertaining. You see J.J. Watt play quarterback. You see Russell Wilson at running back. Like something like that. That way it's flag football. You can do a tournament-based type of thing.
Because you're not about to get... You're not speaking to put JJ Watt out there. You're not about to get JJ Watt on the field for a Pro Bowl and him go out and try to. No. I'm gonna use your example. I'm not talking about you specifically. I'm just using your example. You're not about to get JJ Watt out there on a Pro Bowl field to go out there full force. Like the dude gets injured.
Agreed.
So
exactly.
In the game check, what's the game check for the Pro Bowl? A donation? Isn't it like a donation to a charity?
They get the check,
or something like that.
A charity of their choice.
They ain't about to get hurt for no charity. I'm sorry to say it like that, but
that's why to me it's kind of like even though there's no defense in the All-Star game, it's still relatively entertaining.
And go ahead.
Go ahead.
And I want to jump in right there too. I do think it's a big difference between the Pro Bowl and the All-Star game because, like, the first 3 quarters, whatever, they doing tricks and scoring, but that fourth quarter, it's still basketball. It's competition that fourth quarter. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, they all friends." Listen, if you're an athlete, you still want to be a winner. So I just think it is a little bit different in the All-Star game basketball than the Pro Bowl. I've heard people say, even with the Pro Bowl, well, maybe if we make it after the season, there ain't no way. Like you said, it's too much money on the line for them boys to risk getting hurt, man. There's no way you can make the Pro Bowl. Really, they need to just get rid of it. I mean, I know we like it. It sounds good, but
I wouldn't get rid of it.
I wouldn't get rid of it, but I would
let me ask you this:
different in
a show of hands, everybody on the panel and in the comments. A show of hands, who watched all 4 quarters of the Pro Bowl? Raise your hand.
I did. You got me there, but hold on, you ain't got to make it personal though, brother. You feel me? You ain't had to do me like that.
Hey, the dodgeball tournament was fire.
Hey, see, but see,
the dodgeball was fire.
I think that is where the NFL is missing out on the Pro Bowl is the extras. Yeah. The NBA's extras hit harder than the Pro Bowl game.
So did the NHL.
Outside of the dunk contest.
You're right. I'll take the
NHL extras are awesome.
Hey, you got to give the dunk contest a break, man. It's hard. Like, you've seen all the dunks you can possibly see. They're probably going to do away with that.
Rob, no, I don't want to hear that because I can go right down the street to this rec basketball court right down the street, and I'm gonna see some more better dunks than I saw last night. That dunk contest. I'll throw oop in traffic during the game and have a better dunk come off of that dunk contest.
I'm gonna put it to you this way.
He brought Tim's. Because he brought Tim's.
My dude did a generic. He did a generic dunk with Tim's, and they talk about, oh, that was flawless. Y'all saw Shaq's face.
Obi Toppin dunks were cool. He just didn't have any like momentum.
Competition.
How do they pick who even gets to go in the dunk contest now?
Well, hold on, but here's the thing.
I think right now it's pretty much based on who wants to go.
Exactly. That's what it is, because they'll ask, like they try to start with the stars, and then they go, yeah, okay.
Because Zach Levine said he wanted to go. So why was Zach Levine wanted to go? Why was Zach Levine?
Probably Chicago. Chicago was like, we didn't have 12 injuries in the last 5 days.
I mean, he just saw a specialist about his knee. No, Zach, slow down, bro.
He's good.
Yeah, if we gonna be honest, nah, bro. I'm gonna tell you this right now. If I'm Billy Donovan and I hear that, I'm sitting him down. I'm sitting Zach Levine down, saying, "Hey, yo, stop it. Get some help." You literally just got the special talk about I'm in the dunk contest, bro. What? Only contest you gonna be in is messing up your knees if you keep making stupid choices, bro.
Hey, but like, come on, man. Like, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Cole Anthony, I love you, bro. But ain't no reason Cole Anthony should have been in the dunk contest.
No.
He had 3 dunks this year.
That was a Greg.
He had 3 dunks this
special.
year. Yeah, he had 3 dunks this year, and 2 of them were in the dunk contest. So I don't know why.
I'm gonna boot you.
I love Cole. I love watching Cole Anthony play basketball. But he shouldn't have been in the dunk contest.
Listen. I said this earlier. This is the perfect way I know how to solve the dunk contest. Swear to God, right? Let me know if you gentlemen agree with me. All right. So step 1, first and foremost, step 1.
Got steps.
Get out with it. It's gonna be done for 5 years. Okay, we're gonna send it to a barren wasteland starting next year.
Pride, I said the same thing. Oh my God.
But that's step 1, right? Because here's the thing: when you don't want something, listen. You haven't been in a relationship where you don't rock with shorty. You're like, why am I still here? All of a sudden she leaves. Oh my God, yo, she got a bunda over there. You feel me? You look around. All of a sudden she looking right. See, that's what needs to happen with the dunk contest. We need a vacation, right?
Yo,
okay?
We're spoiled.
Yes, fellas. I don't know if y'all could. I don't even know how this stream y'all works. So people watching it, forgive me. But I just snuck over into the private chat and somebody trying to hide their comment. Y'all see that? The comment says, "Want to get more creative with the dunk contest? Add a trampoline and make it like slam ball."
But here's
hey,
what would y'all say about that, though, dog?
Hey, that would be nasty.
Slam ball, I played OG. Slam ball was slapping. I'm mad they took that off, bro.
Yeah, slam ball was cool.
They should add Dikembe Mutombo as all-time blocker for the dunk contest.
Hey, can you picture somebody going on the trampoline and hurting themselves? I don't know. NBA is not letting that happen.
Heck no.
But
You know the insurance players, All-State already sitting in the stands.
For 5 years, the dunk contest is gonna go away, right? I am not bringing it back. I don't care what Obi Toppin thinks. Okay, I don't care if Cole Anthony's like, I want to defend my time. No, I don't care about none of that. I need the guys who dunk to come out publicly and say, man, what happened to the dunk contest? If you have the
Dominique Wilkins, Michael Jordan, and Julius Erving need to come out and publicly say something.
No,
ridiculous.
No, but we need them active. No, we need them.
I know we need active.
The star presence of the dunk contest.
Because that's what. Listen, there's 2 problems with it. The creativity is gone, of course, but also the star power.
I want to see the John Morants of the world in this contest.
But that's the problem. What you just said, though. You want the active players don't want to do it, so they don't care anything about it. So why would they come out and say something?
I'm gonna tell you why.
You know what? Go get the YouTubers who are going crazy on these dunks. Bring them in, and we'll watch that dunk contest.
Hey, you know what? I figured out the problem, y'all. Last night I was sitting there and I was watching the most entertaining part of the whole weekend, which was Shaq and Barkley going back and forth at each other.
Oh my God!
And Shaq told us the whole secret that ruined the whole dunk contest. He'd been drinking Sierra Mist for the past 5 years. If they ran it back to Sprite, we'd be right back in the game. That's what it is. We need to bring back Sprite. We need to put a Kia.
Slam dunk giant.
Right. We need to put a Kia back on the floor and have Blake Griffin get his wings back.
Listen, like you need the dunk contest to go away for a few years, so that way the players can come in. And to Rob's point, because now you come at a crossroads. Let's say they want it back, but at the same time, they don't want to go and they don't want to go and have the stars do it. Either have some YouTube guys do it,
now,
or take. Let's try to make the dunk contest a horse competition. If you want to do that for an interval, fine. I don't think it's fair because Steph is winning every single time. So
no shooting. It's still dunking.
With dunks. See, honestly, if you were to do that, I wouldn't mind it. But
that'll be. Hey, hold on. Y'all might be on to something. A horse competition.
That might be nice.
A horse competition.
That'll be good.
But
that'll be hot.
We'll call it dunk.
Hey, NBA, we need to check.
Yeah, but here's what I'm saying. So, if you want to change the horse competition, that's fine. Let's say the stars don't want to do it. That's fine. Do you know what other place does the NBA?
Can you imagine Cole Anthony having to do what Obi Toppin does?
No. No guards are gonna be in there. No guards are gonna be in there.
You better watch yourself. John Morant do anything on the court.
Hey man, did you see that man head on that oop we caught?
Put Giannis in there, and he's and John Morant going, yeah,
I don't even know.
Giannis, I don't think Giannis can get that creative with a dunk.
No, I think Giannis' arm's too big.
I think he'll need a team.
Yeah,
Giannis ain't gonna come out and J.R. Smith it. He ain't gonna go behind the back.
Giannis drag his knuckles to the floor as he jumps.
Wow.
His arms so long.
Here's my thing.
I don't think he could do. I don't think he's a trick dunker.
But here's my thing. Like, let's say the Stars don't want to do it. You know what I honestly would actually do? Get some G Leaguers up.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I was saying. Like this Rising Star stuff, that was really dope. I like the concept of it.
Yeah, the new concept.
Yeah, it showed us because let's be honest, guys. In the past years in Rising Stars, like we saw great games, great action, but there's players that were on the bench we didn't really get to see.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this year they got to highlight more players doing it this way.
And they brought some G Leaguers in, and that was nice.
Right,
and that's what
we got to see Giddy and all them dudes.
Yeah, if you don't want to have it with the Stars, that's fine. Because at the end of the day, you still got other guys that you can do, and you go, "Oh wow, he did." And think about it: when you do the dunk contest, let's be honest. People say you want to see Braun do it. You don't really want that. Because let's be honest, let me explain why. Think about it.
I did. He's a little older.
The only guy that I want to see do it, I don't think can ever do it anymore.
Who?
Zion. because of his injuries. But if you look at the dunks that he was doing in high school and the dunks that he was doing at Duke before he came into the NBA, he was the one guy that I wanted to see do the dunk contest because I think he was the only player today that could do a dunk from the free throw line and actually make it.
Yeah. But you know what though, Zion was kind of like Odell Beckham Jr. in the with the pregame stuff. You see Odell doing the one-hand catches and all that stuff. Man, you used to see some of the dunks Zion would pull off in pregame. Mm-hmm. You would be like, "Oh my god!"
Like it's Steph before the game starts with his shooting.
That dude was the Thanos of high school. Like,
yeah, it does. I will say that because he's giving me Greg Oden vibes now.
I've been telling people that. I said he might be another Greg Oden, man.
Really, really, bro. Like Greg Oden was a high school phenomenon. Then he took over Ohio State. Then you came in with the number 1 pick, and he's like, woof. It was like a spread. Woof. Greg Oden was everywhere. And then that stuff said, woo. For Greg?
No, for
I was gonna say, I hope you got an oxygen tank.
But also here's something we need to consider.
Yeah.
Is Zion really hurt?
I think he's hurt.
Because think about it. Some people are saying he's hurt. Some people are saying that he's kind of just
he's mentally hurt.
Not really. I mean, it could be that a lot of people saying that it is mental, but it's that he don't mentally want to be in New Orleans.
Hey man,
it doesn't matter.
You better calm that down.
I don't think it's New Orleans, bro. I don't think it has anything to do. I think it's chain of scenery, period, because I think his mental. And I'm not saying like has mental illness or nothing, right? But I think his mental state for the game of basketball has been corrupted because I don't think he has a personal gripe with the franchise. I think he needs a new scenery because the people in the locker room are looking at him like, you make what? And you've done what for us? So, as time goes, bro, it's just like the James Harden effect. You've been on 3 teams 2 years. There's a reason for that. It ain't because you just holding out and you putting these body suits on. People looking at you in the locker room funny, and that's what it is. You don't like that. His ego getting pushed, and that's the honest truth. So when he gets sent to Philadelphia, you getting traded for a star that's not playing over there, that's disgruntled. The whole team hates him. All you got to do is score 10 points in the basketball game. They're gonna like you. So and I think that's what we're looking at with Zion. I think that there's some of that mixed into the situation. You talk about dude, he blew out a shoe and got a shoe deal. Yeah. Like the dude went through so many stages of heights and peaks.
I mean, to your point, Jay, he only played half a season and they were still trying to give him Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year for nothing.
And Ja had put in work.
Relax. Hold on now. Hold on now. Not for nothing. Relax now.
No. For nothing.
What
did you say, Rob?
Compared to what Ja was doing?
Thank you for nothing.
Bro, free again. Yo, this is free Zion.
No, don't start that.
I'm gonna say this right now. Matter of fact, Rob gave up on him. Jay gave up. No, y'all can give up on him. When my man wins an MVP in like 4 years from now, me and Zion, we chilling, bro. We gonna be
Listen to it.
Hey, you know who's gonna present that? You know who's gonna present that? You know who's gonna present that award?
Who?
Ice Cube.
Nah, John Morant, because John Morant he gonna give up.
He gonna be in the big three.
Better than me, sir.
He's gonna be in the big three in the Staples Center at the what they call it. No, I'm not, man.
Jay or Mike, yo, you mad petty today, yo.
Rob, how many games he played his rookie season?
It had to be like 30 something. Like that dude.
How many he played in the last 3 years? How many he played in the last 3 years? Maybe 60.
Bro, every time I look up, he hurt.
Well, why not hate Zion?
And we be on
I don't hate Zion. I don't hate him either. Rooting for this dude, man, because I don't hate him. Freak of nature, bro.
He be killing me on NBA 2K22. I'm just saying. Go ahead.
You know, sometimes you can be too much of a freak of nature, and it goes against you.
That's what all he needs to do. He leaves New Orleans and
he needs to stop eating the crawfish. He needs to stop. Well, yeah.
No, it's not. It's no. It's not that. It's not that. It's just the injuries is why he's gaining. Well, his lack of play.
But what I'm saying is, for somebody with his weight might not necessarily be a problem if his game wasn't built on athleticism. That's a lot of torque on his body. You got to understand that his game. It's not like he's down there dominating like Shaq. He can move people out his way, but his game right now is built off athleticism. So think of a 300-pound body steady jumping up and down off the ground at the velocity that he does it. He bust out his shoe. You said it. He bust out of a shoe. You know how hard it is to break a gym shoe?
The whole thing.
The whole
not a hole. Not a hole.
Whip. Here's the line in the sand. Whip. Here's the line in the sand. Are you pro Zion or are you anti Zion?
No, it's not about being pro Zion.
No, Jay, don't back up on me now. You
wait. Does this
I'm not anti Zion. I hope the best for the kid.
Me too. But does this resemble Blake?
What do you mean?
Does this resemble Blake Griffin?
No,
his first few years in.
No,
the only difference is Blake lost weight and continued on. That's the only difference.
Let's go about that.
No, but I don't think it's not yet because Zion, I don't think he's lost athleticism. Like Blake, you looked up one year and he couldn't dunk anymore. It was like, what happened?
But that was after numerous back surgeries. That was after numerous back surgeries.
Man, I think I see how this show going. First, y'all talk about Juwan from Michigan. Now you talk about Blake Griffin when we had him in Detroit and he was through. What's going on, man?
No. Hey, you misconstrued my words. What I was saying about Blake.
We got love for the D.
I love Blake.
The weight issues he got early on in his career.
What I was saying about Blake was how super athletic he was coming in. His game was above the rim, and he started getting injured. And Blake got to the point where he started gaining weight because of his injuries. Yeah. So it was either A, lose weight, change your game a little bit, or B, bro, you're gonna be out the league. Yeah. And Blake buckled down. He started losing weight. His whole body structure changed, and his game changed. He started developing a jump shot that came out. Really, Blake's jump shot developed really huge, like quick.
Oh yeah, that especially the three ball.
It's crazy because it's still trash.
Get out of here, Blake Griffin. Hey, Blake Griffin's one of my favorite players, man. Always has been. He just played for the wrong team. He just played for the wrong team. He played for the Clippers, and I was a Suns fan. So I couldn't talk about it.
The Lob City was something to be reckoned with.
It really was. And DeAndre,
but then every time you needed the Lob City the most, they vanished with injuries. I felt so bad for him.
Look at Chris Paul now. I mean, it's like right on cue.
Yeah. And I got him in my fantasy, and I was like, oh, yeah, after last year, he going to be good. He out 6 to 8 weeks. I'm triggered.
See, we could have done the whole show without even mentioning the 6 to 8 week part.
Hey, sorry, Jay, but that's our job. We have to report what's going on.
But look, I don't know. It's just look with Zion, like I said, dog. This is just me. I just think this is his way of trying to force his way out. Because, like you said, it doesn't matter. I think so. I just think he's just scared to say it. You know what I mean? Like he basically was hoping that, oh yeah, the Pelicans are naturally trading me. That's how I'm looking at it. Because like they'll say that he can't move, but then there's videos out there of him dunking.
But can you do that in game? It's different.
But with that type of aggressiveness, He 100%. He probably can.
We're talking about the guy that busted out his shoe. We're talking about the guy that just hurt his leg. Like, it's different in game, mentally and physically.
Especially when you got people hanging on your back.
Right.
He's going to the rim with like 5 people hanging on his back.
And I get it, but my thing is, if you can do, and it's funny, it's the same thing with Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is doing all this stuff on the practice court. Everyone's slandering his name, talking about why can't you do that on the court? And then with Zion, he's kind of just dunking and whatnot, and he's just kind of just chilling. Like, these are recent videos, and he's kind of just like on the court doing intensive drills, and he's not going on the court.
Maybe,
so
but maybe like, that's part of his rehab. Maybe that's part of his rehab. And that's the thing, man.
I don't know, man. Rehab that extent, that intensely. I mean, maybe he's just an intense.
We're talking about a guy that's busting his tendons and stuff while jumping. You have to test it. I don't know what the test is for that. How do you test it? What's the normal procedure?
Go play.
Okay, so he's probably doing things like that on the sideline to test those things out. Man. He has a rubber band for some of his tendons. Like, bro,
listen, it could be. It could be. All I'm saying is, if I had to take a guess, I don't think he's hurt. I just think he kind of wants to get out of New Orleans, and he just doesn't want to. He's a quiet dude, so he's not gonna come out and be like, "Yeah, I want out." He's just kind of like, so.
Well, the thing that Jay just said about his tendons, though, there was something that I want to say Duke University did on him last year when he was hurt, and for how much he weighs, for how high he jumps, and the amount of pressure that he puts on his ankle when he hits the ground, it's equivalent to dropping a 2,000-pound car on your foot. So basically do that how many times a game that he does that. Your bones can only take so much of that force before your bones basically say, we're done here.
Right.
The stat guy has spoken.
That's it.
Did he break his leg? Did he Paul George himself?
No, his worse, his tendons.
No,
he has like things that connect the legs.
Rob, Whip, Greg, Jay, Dustin. When my secondary guy, because now he's my secondary guy. When my secondary guy, my third guy, because I can't put him up Jason Tatum. When my third guy wins MVP,
I'm gonna be right. I'm gonna clap.
We will be no.
Comeback
That's
story.
not what I want.
But
I'm speaking.
I'm not against the dude
because I was texting him earlier. I told him I was going to defend his honor because I knew the captain was going to come up. I was texting him. He said he wants a handwritten note, signed and notarized, and read on air. That's what he said. I mean, I showed you the messages. Boop! I showed you the messages. That's what he said.
Hey, I tell him I use the computer.
Rob, hey, CC me in that, Rob.
He said CC. I can't. But moving on, because earlier somebody brought up Brian Flores. He is now a part of the Pittsburgh Steelers as hear this, and this right here is the kicker. This is what Brian Flores held out for. As the senior defensive assistant and linebackers coach. All that just to get this, which at this point, I feel bad for Brian Flores, but at the same time, bro. Yeah,
but there's still an investigation, though, right?
I was going to say that was my question. So you
I looked into it.
Walking away?
I looked into it. Turns out he is suing, like the NFL lawsuit he's doing. Since it is basically a thing where he feels like certain teams will not employ him, the NFL cannot get in the way. So if a team reaches out to him, so basically Brian Flores had to withdraw withdraw his name. So he couldn't go nothing. If a team approached him, then he was able to take the job. But he can't go to a team talking about, I want to run your defense, or the team had to come up to him. It's weird because I just thought even if you just sue the NFL, period, you just can't be in the league. That's how I thought it was. But the way they described, they were like, if a team goes up to you, which is weird because
it might be based on the fact that they're all separate entities as far as the ownership. So I don't know if
but he's suing the NFL too. I don't know.
But the NFL is its own. They have their own business EIN. It might be just something along those lines, man. Some technical stuff, but
yeah. So
I'm gonna let everybody go first with how they feel.
See,
that
when
being said,
Jay lets everybody go first, he got a lot.
Yeah,
He got a lot of stuff. I can see it right now. Dustin, let me start with you. And this is the question that a lot of people are asking. With him getting this job, does it negate his lawsuit? Does it nullify it? Does it kind of weaken its case in any way, shape, or form?
I don't think it does at all. I actually think it strengthens his case. Because if you're going to join a franchise, why not join the franchise where the owner's last name is Rooney, where the original Rooney rule was put in place? Why not join the franchise that has had an African-American head coach now for 14 years? And through all the constant coaching changes in the NFL, the one constant has been Mike Tomlin will be the Pittsburgh Steelers head coach. 14 years in the league, Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season. He's been to 3 Super Bowls as a head coach, so obviously he knows what he's doing as a head coach. Why not bring in a guy that feels the NFL has completely disrespected him, the NFL has completely blackballed him, and the NFL has completely pushed him and other African-American coaches out the window? So why not join the organization where this all started to prove that he is a good coach, to work with somebody that's going to back him 100%, and then when things happen next year and jobs open next year, you can bet that Mike Tomlin and Rooney are going to back him 100%. And if they're both backing him to get another head coaching job, a lot of teams are going to come back to him.
Greg, Brian Flores, I just saw something that they called Brian Flores a sellout, which is by far, I think, the second funniest thing I heard today outside of Zion is trash. By the way, Rob.
He didn't say he's trash.
Rob. I'm talking to Greg. I'm talking to my man Greg. I'm talking to my man Greg. Jay, I'm talking to my man Greg right now. I'm talking about
Bayless is in effect.
Rob, you see him summon us and then tell us to be quiet?
Wow.
He summoned us, Rob, and then told us to be quiet, man.
But Greg, supposedly people believe that Brian Flores taking this job because it's not a head coaching job is a, quote, sellout move. Do you feel that way, Greg? Do you think they got any point, or do you think they just dumb?
No, that's not. Brian Flores is not a sellout for taking the job with the Steelers. Look, there's levels to this. So if he signs with the Steelers now, who's to say Mike Tomlin doesn't move on in about 5 years? And then if Mike Tomlin goes to the ownership and say, hey, I want Brian Flores to take over when I'm gone, guess what's going to happen? He's going to take over when he's gone. So it was actually a smart move by Brian Flores to join the Steelers because now he has an ally in Tomlin. So when Tomlin says, okay, I'm done here, I want Brian Flores to take my spot, now Brian Flores can get his coaching job without having to go through the politics that is the NFL right now. So it was a very smart move. It doesn't make him a sellout. Brian Flores is actually thinking of the big picture, and he's going about it in a very smart way. So I like his move very much.
Where you think that Brian Flores taking this Pittsburgh job, do you think that opens an opportunity for him to be the Pittsburgh Steelers head coaching job, or do you think this is just kind of him trying to go to another team as a head coach?
I think it's him trying to go to another team. But I will say this, though, and I understand what Greg was just putting out there. However, if it was me, and fellas, I would like y'all to come back behind this. Would you have held out a little bit longer, especially when you don't put out this whole thing out there? Would you have? Okay, so prior you would have. What about the rest of you fellas? Would you have held out a little longer? You know what I'm saying? What do you? Somebody said no. I thought I heard.
I would not have held out longer, depending on the situation.
Yeah.
If I wanted to get right back into head coaching, I would have held out. But if I wanted to just be a part of the NFL and be a part of coaching, which obviously Flores wants to be a coach in some capacity, then I would not have held out. I would have taken basically something like Steelers gave him, where you come into a franchise where you're not going to have to worry about the whole minority type of how the NFL views minority coaches. You can come into an environment where basically Mike Tomlin was the standard for the minority head coaches. He was hired by Rooney. He's been a staple there for almost 2 decades now, and he's not going to be going away anytime soon until he wants to leave. So come there, learn from Tomlin, learn how our organization is run. So then when you are ready to get back into the head coaching market, you have a historic organization that's going to back you. You have a very successful head coach and a very successful owner that's going to back you. And if you apply for, like, say, let's just say next year there's or let's just say 3 years down the road, there's 9 head coach openings. And Flores goes to interview for all 9 jobs and he doesn't get hired. You know that the Steelers organization is going to have something to say about it by basically saying, how do you not hire this guy that's just been with Mike Tomlin and with us for 3 years, but yet you're going to hire somebody that's not proven at all?
I get that, but the one thing I say behind this, like, you just said people think that he's a sellout, and we could all agree on this show that it's, maybe it's good that he got a job, whatnot. But how does he change his image with the public? You know what I'm saying? I understand what you're saying. Being with Mike Tomlin down the road and all that, that's cool. But right now, right here, when you have people ready to ride for you like they did Kaepernick, and then you walked. How do you change the image with our people? Do we just say, you know what I'm saying? Because again, going back to what I said earlier, this is a business. I get that. Get your money. But it's also entertainment aspect of sports. You understand what I'm saying? And to have people rocking with you, you got to have people behind you as well. Do you agree or disagree with that?
I agree. And like what you said about changing his image, he went to the one franchise where he's not going to be the face of the franchise.
But see,
he went to the one franchise where his image can be changed because he's not the face of that franchise. Any other team that he would have went to, he would have been the face of that franchise, I think. Versus you go to Pittsburgh, he's not really the face of that Pittsburgh franchise going there.
I think it's actually a double-edged sword. I think this whole situation has put him in a predicament. He still got to feed his family. He still has to, pay it. He has to develop a living wage. So I think that's half of the situation that we're seeing. The other thing, to your point, Dustin, of him going to an organization that has that and him not being the face of it, that's also to kind of what Whip is saying, is him taking himself out of that light is also going to lose that momentum that he's built in. But here's where that double-edged sword comes in, because you brought up Kaepernick, and that's what I was going to bring up. We saw what the NFL did to Kaepernick. So at the same time where, you want him to hold out as much as I would have with my pride, I would have held out a lot longer. But at the same time, we've seen what the NFL did to Kaepernick. So now if he sits there and doesn't take a job this year, then you got the NFL, the owners, the commissioner over there like this, like, yeah, let them forget about him. Let them forget about him 1 more year. Okay. All right. Now we got 2 years without him. Okay. So now if he comes up and he goes to get another job, we can just say we ain't seen him in 2 years. So we don't know if he's still up to it. So and that's how they were trying to keep Kaepernick out. Remember, does he still have an arm? Well, we need to see him on a one-on-one training. Like, they were doing so many odd things where it didn't make sense. So at the same time, I agree with you, Whip. I agree with you, Dusty. But it's a predicament that we don't have answers for. It's a predicament we've already seen go down a road and we know where it led. So who are we to say that he's wrong or right in this situation? Now, to the point of him going to Pittsburgh, I think that also is a double-edged sword. Because now you're like, well, because you got, again, Whip, to your point, the people. Well, it's Pittsburgh. They made the Rooney Rule. That's easy. You just got to shoe in. They did it because it was, you know what I'm saying? They did it to take care of him type thing. They didn't do it because he deserved the job. So there's so many facets and levels to it. And I hate the fact that Brian Flores is put in this position, because we have been in this position for a long time. Kaepernick, again, that's another guy that I hate that that person was put in that position, because we have been dealing with this for a long time. And that individual made a statement, and now he takes the brunt of what we've been going through. Same thing with Brian Flores. This individual makes a statement. Now he's going to take the grunt of what we've been going through. So it's one of those situations. I wish the best for Flores. I'm behind every decision he makes from here. There is no right and wrong decision here, because this is on paved territory. Ain't none of us been down this road. So I'm with him whichever way he go, whether he makes the wrong decision or the right decision.
And the only advantage that Flores has at least Flores had another shot to coach after he did what he did compared to well, I'm not saying a head coach. Like, at least he was able to stay in the coaching side of things versus Kaepernick. When Kaepernick did what he did, he was done. He never got another backup role. He never had another opportunity to play anywhere else. He was just done when he did what he did.
I put this up earlier, but Jay, you were on a roll, so I took it down.
I saw it before.
Oh my god! Jay, you was on a roll, so I was like, you know what? Yeah, let me just take it down.
Yeah, Damien, you are so wrong because
really wrong.
But hold on now.
I'm glad y'all spoke on it.
Hold on.
I was going to say something.
I disagree with this.
Let Rob get him go first.
Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, because my thing with that is it'll be different if he was taking this position and saying, well, let's sweep the lawsuit under the rug and all that. He's still going on with the lawsuit. I think what he's trying to do is he's still trying to secure his positioning in the NFL, and you can't knock him for doing that. Again, to Jay's point, to Dustin's point, you saw what happened to Kaepernick. Once Kaepernick was gone, he was gone, and they was going to make it very hard for him to get back into this brotherhood called the NFL.
You let him sit there in the time go over and sand brush over.
Yeah,
it's hard to get that uncovered again.
Right. So now he's like, okay, you know what? I still want to coach. It's a dream of his. He wants to coach in the National Football League.
And he deserves it.
So I'm going to take this position as a linebackers coach. I'm going to do whatever I have to do to secure my position in the NFL because this lawsuit has nothing to do with the way that I perform my job.
And since when did you standing up for something mean you can't have a job?
Right.
Well, exactly. And here's what I was going to say. I disagree with this, but I do see like where you're coming from with this.
I do,
and I'm gonna explain why. Like what people look at Kaepernick and was like, if you're gonna fight for this, you need to give up everything. And that's the logic a lot of people and Jay, I don't agree with that.
So
logic,
if I don't believe it, I'm just gonna jump off this bridge no matter where it takes me.
And but you got to understand that's how a lot of people think.
Agreed.
Like you got to remember when people say
that's why we don't get any ground on things that we really want because it's not always being Rambo. It's not.
I understand that, but I'm just saying, like, because I've seen people say this, and when you bring up Colin Kaepernick, what do they always say? He knew what he was doing, so if he gave up everything, he should have given up everything because he knew what he was doing. That's the same logic people are trying to use with Brian Flores, where you're suing everybody, and now you don't even take the head coaching job. You're taking like an assistant job. That's the logic people are using. Again, I don't agree with that logic.
Right.
But when you're comparing it to Colin Kaepernick, which, let's be honest, the only real difference is the fact that one was a player and one was a coach. That's really the only difference. You know what I mean? Like everything else is just eerily similar. When with everything Colin Kaepernick gave up, a lot of people who, and let's be fair, the people who say you have to give up everything are the people who don't understand the play. The people who don't understand.
He did though.
But see,
he didn't know Nike was gonna come and back.
No. But I'm not justifying it. I'm just letting you know why people are saying it. You know what I mean?
But again,
people who are saying it don't walk a mile in our shoes. They don't know the stuff we go through. They don't understand.
But it's not even about a we. It's not even about a we. Let's make it a general blanket. Though you know the saying, get your foot in the door.
Yeah.
Well, there's also at the flip side, don't take your foot out that door because once that door closes, it's harder to get back in. They already know that your foot trying to sneak up in there.
But with that being said, though, and again, I'm with Pride over there. It's a double-edged sword, but we know how our people are. It's no different than, let's say you working at and you work at any job, dog. Let's say you work at McDonald's and your supervisor go off on you, and you say that race is up there, and then they pay you off. Do you take that job back, even though they offer you your job back? That's how people think that we should.
Well, that's the part, though. Right. That's that back part. They pay you off.
They pay you.
See, that's the part that makes it different.
Because Brian Flores didn't get paid off.
No, and now you're paying for me to accept your treatment. That's different. That throws a different dynamic into it. Because now I'm getting paid to accept your treatment. It's different to say I'm standing here regardless of how you do it and what you do.
I get that, but they're saying the payment is the job that he just took.
No, because that's
what they said. The job is
The job is for his livelihood.
Right.
He's a coach.
We get that. But
he's a coach in the NFL, so he's going to continue to coach in the NFL. But as I mentioned before, he has not given up the lawsuit. The lawsuit is still in progress. In fact, the NFL just hired a former civil rights lawyer to go against this guy. That's how much they're taking this thing serious.
But they said it. Yeah. They said to investigate. So, and here's the thing. And here's the thing, though. To your point, with I'm a fast food manager. McDonald's is the racist one. Am I not supposed to work at Burger King?
Yeah, true.
That's not the same. That's not.
It is the same because this is the NFL. I was working with this. I was working with this brand, then this brand did it. I'm going over to this brand now
because they're not related. There's no parent company over them. They're not.
It would be different if you said he was going to work for the XFL.
Okay, so I'm Taco Bell and KFC. My bad, Taco Bell and KFC. All right,
look what Dustin put in the comment though. He went from making $5 million a year as a Dolphins head coach to $300,000 with the Steelers. Because he gave up everything.
Yes, and I understand that.
And listen, he's still at and that's the other thing too. We got to look at the dynamics of this because yes, he's doing something for a community of people that have been oppressed in this particular situation for a long time, and he's trying to make a change for that. Who's gonna pay for his kids to go to school? Who's gonna pay for his kids to eat? Who's gonna do all that?
We're gonna pay that mortgage.
We gonna be mad at him if he go and make that bag to make sure that livelihood that he's built so far continues on.
But here's the thing, Jay. We're not. Well, I'm not mad. I'm not mad. If I was in
and I'm not saying that you are. But what we're saying is that outside,
but that's the thing,
outside people,
right? Correct. But again, you need to understand who's saying it, right? Like you're saying it to somebody who's saying, like, we got to understand. As much as we compare it to Colin Kaepernick, and it's extremely like it. We got to understand it's a double-edged sword, and what I mean by that is when Colin did his lawsuit, what did he originally want? I want a job in the NFL. So when you compare that to it, everyone's just gonna say, "Oh, well, just Brian Flores just wants a job." Like, and again, I don't agree with that at all. I'm not agreeing with that. I'm just saying this is how people are looking at it.
Yeah,
people who want to vilify Brian Flores for, in essence, taking a stand, like, because that's what they're doing.
But that's always step two.
Yeah, they don't want you to. They don't want you to go against the status quo, and they're gonna make you feel bad about it. Right. But one of the things that people forget, one of the main things he's asking for in this lawsuit is the betterment, of opportunity for minorities. So, who am I not to take a job that I'm offered? I want more minorities in this league, so he's still leading by example.
Wait,
so Jay, can I? No, I'm gonna break it down because you were looking at like a few. So this is what
I read.
You understand? Okay. I just want to make sure you understand. Go ahead.
Listen, Damien. This question right here is a reflection of your last question, and I can now understand that you're not understanding what the message is.
Mm-hmm.
Why would he leave the NFL and go to the USFL and the XFL to get a head coaching job there? That does absolutely nothing for the cause.
No.
That is, in fact, taking away from what his statement is.
Mm-hmm.
That is what the NFL wants him to do.
Yeah, they want him to do that.
Right, and that's the thing.
They want him to blackball himself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why he's at Pittsburgh right now, to make sure that he stays employed.
Yes.
You're going to continue to pay me. You're going to continue to pay me every single year while we go through this investigation. It's still going to cost you money.
Yep, and again, and it's two points. Dustin, I'm gonna let you touch on the second point because you put something in the private chat that's actually kind of very interesting. But the NFL learned their lesson with Colin Kaepernick. They learned their lesson, and their lesson was, we're not gonna blackball you. We're gonna let you blackball yourself.
Yep,
we're gonna let you put yourself in that hole, so that way you can't come to us complaining, crying, and
blame me
because
we gave you an opportunity. We gave you a time. We gave you a date. We wanted you to show up. It's on you if you want to do it.
That way they can say, "Oh yeah." That way they can say, "You went to college. You left us. You went to the XFL. You left us. You were the one who decided to leave. So if you left us. It's not up to us to bring you back.
And let's be honest. I'm not speaking for every single NFL team. I'm speaking for one NFL team that I know from the outside looking in of this subject. There's one team where this man will be safe. One team that is guaranteed. Pittsburgh. They are the Rooney Rule. They want this. They have to. And I'm not going to say Rooney himself because I don't know the dynamics of how they're pushing it. But the Pittsburgh Steelers organization as a whole, they have been driving this boat.
Yep.
They have been driving this boat. So if there's one team that you're safe with for the time being, it's Pittsburgh because they can't go over there and touch him over there.
Nope.
They ain't gonna let it happen.
Nope.
And if they do, Tomlin gonna expose them.
Yep.
So there's a lot more layers. I'm gonna take the meat meal. There's layers to it. There's layers. There's layers to it.
And
not to mention Pittsburgh's had the longest tenured minority head coach in the league
ever.
And real quick, Dustin, because you put something in the private chat. Do you mind touching up on that real quick?
Which one? I put a bunch of stuff in there.
The last matter of fact, do the last two. The last two.
So what Damian was saying about him going to the USFL or the XFL, they only make $150,000 a year as a head coach in the XFL. He's going to make more as an assistant coach in the NFL. And to go with that, he's going to have job security because the AAF, the XFL, and the Spring League last year basically, well, the Spring League went the whole thing, but the AAF and the XFL didn't even finish their inaugural season. So who's to say the USFL is going to make it beyond 1 year? Who's to say the XFL again is going to make it beyond 1 year? So if you go to the XFL and all of a sudden they disband again, not only did you push yourself, you took yourself out of the NFL, but you're probably not going to get back in if you leave and then the XFL folds in 1 year.
And the XFL this morning, the NFL and the XFL announced a partnership.
Yeah.
So now
I was going to touch on that later if we had time to.
Yeah, but now you're going to your little minor league, basically the minor league system of the NFL. You're going to be head coach over there? Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
And then the other thing I said, kind of what Jay said about the Rooney Rule, if it was possible, the Pittsburgh Steelers would hire an all African-American staff. If they really could do it, they would do it to basically slap the face of the NFL and be like, African-American coaches know how to coach. And you want to know why? I'm going to hire an all African-American staff. We're going to have success. And then you can kind of look stupid for not giving a lot of these guys the chances they deserve.
And again too, because he would, and it's funny because like Mr. Rooney, he would do it, obviously because it's the right thing to do, but he would also do it because he has famously been the leader of the anti-NFL. Anytime there's any problem, he goes and asks, "Hey, NFL, hey Roger Goodell, how do you feel?" "Oh, well, I think this is a good idea." "You're an idiot. This is a horrible idea." Like he's literally like his life. At this point, I'm convinced Mr. Rooney. At this point, I don't think he cares about the Pittsburgh Steelers anymore. I don't think he cares about the success. I don't think he cares about any of that. I think right now his sole purpose is just to be the thorn in Roger Goodell's side.
I don't even know if
he needs somebody to do it.
You need somebody to do it.
The Steelers are one of those flagship organizations, man. They lead change in the NFL. And Victor, coach, put in a very good comment right here as well. You know, the Bucks have an African-American staff. They also have a woman on staff as well. There is diverse organizations in the NFL, and I don't want to push that narrative that there's not, you know, and there's, but the ones that are not, it's heavy, and there's a lot of reasoning behind it, a lot of background behind it. So that's what we're up against right now. I am totally behind Brian Flores. There's no right or wrong answer here. He's making his own path. This is a new road. We're paving a new road.
Yeah, I mean, listen, live your life, do your thing. Again, like I said,
YOLO.
Yeah, I mean, look,
yeah.
If he wants to hold out, cool. If he wants to take a job, that's fine. At the end of the day, as long as he's able to look in the mirror and say, I'm glad with what I did, and as long as he keeps the lawsuit going, live your life. Do whatever it is you want to do. Go hang out with John Jones. Go do what John Jones does in Vegas.
Hey, no, don't go hang out with John Jones.
Go hang out with John Jones.
You got this court thing going on. Stay away from.
Nah, bro. Go chill with him. Go do whatever you want. I don't care.
Go to the beach.
As long as you keep the lawsuit up, because in my opinion, I feel like you can call him a sellout the instant he takes away that lawsuit.
Yeah, okay.
Like if he takes away the lawsuit, then you can start having that conversation. But
Bank of America gives him that notification on his phone that he just got a deposit.
Deposit on that.
Again, until we get to that point, I don't think we should call him a sellout. I don't think that conversation should even be remotely open because, again, let's be honest, if he's not in the end, and this is another point people don't really want to talk about, if he's not being a head coach, who's going to go get his side? Who's going to go out of their way to talk? Because remember, no one went really out of their way to talk to Colin Kaepernick. No, they stumbled into him. When the NFL did their open thing and Colin Kaepernick was
like, remember, he was banned from being around the NFL.
Everything.
You know, like he was blackballed to the extreme. Like sponsorships, people that were, and I think that's another thing that I don't think that the world really got a wind of. A lot of those sponsorships were canceling with him because it was like the NFL was like, hey, him or us?
Yes.
Who do you want?
And they're like, look, I mean,
so and that's why Nike.
Colin,
but I think that's why Nike did it the way they did. They pulled out, let everything do this thing, and then they came back around with the just do it. And you know what I'm saying? So they didn't lose their Nike sponsorship. Everything kind of died down. I mean, their Nike, their NFL sponsorship, everything kind of died down. And then they came back around and dropped that, which kind of won up.
Which was smart. And they told Colin Kaepernick from the jump, look, bro, they're putting us in the position. We're not against you, but we're gonna play this smart. And again, like if you're keeping it a buck, more times than not, the guy's gonna go, do your thing, shoot your shot. You know where to find me. You know what I mean? But the thing is if Brian Flores goes to any other team, he's fired before the year's done.
Of course.
Because they're gonna keep asking him and he's gonna defend himself. Somebody here said it. Him going to the Steelers is the equivalent of you playing tag and you going to home base.
Hey,
that's
what it is. Imagine him? Can you
imagine Wakanda?
Can you imagine him being like for the Jets, playing for like the Houston Texans?
Oh my God.
You know, coaching for the Houston. Like, can you imagine these last 3 years, like him coaching one of those teams, and then having to go up through something like this? Like, it would just kill everything that he was fighting.
Yeah,
so,
and most of the names he mentioned in his lawsuit, we talking about heavy hitters.
Right.
He threw Bill Belichick under the bus.
Yeah, which that right
he
there.
Threw John Elway under the bus.
See, that right there is where me and Brian Flores disagree. We have a very illustrious.
But that's the thing, Pride. It has to be. It has to be out in the open. And John Gruden, and I'm gonna tell you guys another thing. That's why John Gruden ain't been slapped, yet, because once they start slapping around John Gruden, there's gonna be a whole lot of people exposed.
It was somebody on the other side of that email now.
That's what I'm saying. They're never. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this right now.
Hey, real quick, Pride. Let me throw this in there. Don't forget, y'all, that Washington Redskins thing, that was sex trafficking.
But listen,
they explained what was going on. That was sex trafficking.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I wasn't hip to that either.
I didn't know that either.
Whoa.
Expand a little bit more, fellas. I wasn't hip to that.
So what they were doing, what the Redskins were doing, they were having their cheerleaders go out. They would have a private, premiums. What do you call them?
Party, clients. VIP party type thing.
Right. They had their clients. They did their little cheerleaders did like a nude photo shoot. Afterwards, they go to the locker room, right, to change. Right. They're in the dressing room changing or whatnot. Some Washington whatever they want to call them, commanders, football team. Some representatives walk in, and just start plucking. Bloop, 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 bloop. Y'all come with me. Y'all going with some clients.
Wait, what?
When was this, dog?
This was in the John Gruden statements.
Yeah, bro. Wait,
what?
Go read.
Hey, I gotta go read up on this. I'm going to go read up on this.
I'm trying to look it up, man.
Hold on, time out. Y'all really didn't. Why do you think that? Like,
that
why do you think they haven't released the rest of the emails, bro?
Pride, look, that's the thing. You sat there and you read that article like I did. Most people didn't get to read those articles, and then they stopped talking about it. They didn't bring that up on the media. They didn't bring it up like that.
Oh wow!
All right, all this forgiven for your thing on Brian Flores, bro.
The Washington Cardinals, Damian come back with an all-star comment. He had to redeem himself this morning.
Bro,
hey, hold on, wait a minute.
That ain't no joke. Look it up. Look it up right now, y'all. That is no joke.
I'm gonna have to look at that. Yeah.
Bro, yeah. Listen. Listen. Just Google. I'm gonna tell you what to Google.
Lady said
I'm reading.
That's what I'm saying. Google, listen, for any of you guys who don't believe us, Google Washington Commanders sex trafficking, and it's gonna be one of the first links, December 17th, 2021.
If y'all think I'm playing.
No, there's a reason why John Gruden kept saying, look at the Redskin emails, look at the Redskin emails. If you think what I did was bad, look at their email chain.
And this is what I'm saying.
And Mr. Stat, how many times did we hear that statement on the media's broadcasting? Not once.
No, because they don't want to talk about it because the NFL silenced it. Because listen, and I said this before.
That go back to what Whit was saying earlier when we were talking about Juwan Howard. These guys, that's them letterheads we was talking about, the PR letterheads. They send them out, and move on.
And listen, this is what I'm gonna say about it. I've said this consistently. There's 3 owners in the NFL who could literally murder somebody in front of Roger Goodell, and Roger Goodell will go through any obstacle to make them look innocent. Robert Kraft, Jerry Jones, and Dan Snyder. Those 3. Now we all know
close. You know who's getting close is Jacksonville. That dude got a lot of money, and they're starting to try to get on his good side.
Yeah, and listen, Robert Kraft, Robert Kraft is the owner of the Patriots. Jerry Jones obviously is the owner of
Cowboys.
Dallas. Does everyone know who Dan Snyder happens to own?
Not many people know
the
who
Washington Commanders.
Yep,
he owns them. Why do you think? Listen, and that's why. Listen, imagine. Why do you think with all this head coaching stuff, all these openings, do you think it's a coincidence that John Gruden's name was not brought up? Do you think that's
what you mean? No.
It's not a coincidence.
He's not supposed to be brought up.
They don't want him. They don't want him brought up in any way, shape, or form.
He can't.
Every single time he gets brought up, eventually, it's gonna end up going back to the emails.
No. He is banned. He cannot coach again for the next 5 years. He cannot, because the NFL they're in too much stuff right now, racially charged, to have a guy like that come back in that soon. So we won't see Gruden for a while.
No. I'm talking about college. General. I'm talking about college too.
They can't do it, man. You got to wait 3 years at least.
Yeah, the NFL don't want that PR nightmare.
No. If he's banned from the NFL, he can go to college.
But I'm saying the NCAA won't want that nightmare either.
But that's what I'm saying.
Because their NCAA has been trying to turn a new league for a lot longer than the NFL.
That's what I'm saying. They're going to start asking questions, and then eventually it's always going to end up going back to the emails.
Yeah,
John Gruden's never going to get a job again.
He shouldn't.
Nope.
He's not going to. The only way he'll get a job is if somehow this independent investigator Dan Snyder himself hired, which literally is the exact opposite of independent, unless they find something and then Dan Snyder comes clean. And I guarantee you in 2 years, that independent investigator is just going to all of a sudden just going to quit.
I just got to ask Whip. Are you reading it?
That's what I'm doing right now, man. I'm like, look at
expressions. He's like, what in the
world? They got video, like they got some videos, dog. Like, this is crazy, man.
Yo, and if you get into the part where I was telling you about when they were going to the locker room and they start stating how they picked who was going with who, they had a freaking lottery lineup, and these clients were just going, I want number 10. Remember
Taken.
or take it or
take it. No, remember when they showed them, like it's like they was coming out for like an auction.
No. It's not like that. They're literally
it's like Rush Hour. It's like Rush Hour.
Yes.
It was like Rush Hour.
Oh yeah.
They're in the locker room getting like they're just putting their clothes on. And the execs come in and they tell them all stop.
Reaction.
They literally tell them all stop. And they say turn around to face them. And they one by one look and each of them turn around so that way they can see it, who they're going to take. It's wild.
Yo, fellas, on that note, I'm gonna have to get out here to read the rest of it. It was too much for me to read right now. I'm gonna need y'all to finish off this show strong, man. Hey, Washington, I'm coming for you myself. I'm going up there to go get y'all right now. I'm out. Fellas, take care of the rest of the show, all right?
I will.
All right, bro.
Nah, bro, look, listen.
Hey, that's wild. So you talking about like when they had like the masseuse girls?
Yes.
That's how they served it to them. They
like, man, I need help for my hands.
The representatives walked into the locker room, was like, bloop, 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 bloop.
Yep.
Y'all come with me.
Yep. And that's what it was. They'll have all of them face them. And so they're just looking at them, have them turn around. And
how's nobody not in jail for this?
No, and look,
because the NFL's covering it.
And look, did you see the one where it says that one of the girls was like basically like refusing, and they told her basically find your own way home?
Yeah.
Oh, they did her like that. They kicked
her. They're in a car. They're on an island. They're in like Costa Rica or something somewhere.
Yes.
And they're on an island, and they basically told her like get out and find your own way.
And by the way, when and if I'm not mistaken, she was one of the first people to come out. They fired her.
She was gone the same day. Hey,
like matter of fact, and it's funny because she got back. Went back to because she went back to the thing because they all met at the actual stadium or whatever. They met there, and that's kind of where they kind of swapped out stuff. She went to pick up the rest of her stuff out, and like you know how they got a code or whatever. Her code was working. Mm-hmm. She was confused.
No code for you. No entry for you.
And she called, and she said that when she called, nobody was answering her. And 3 days later, she just blown up their phone. They told her, "Oh yeah, remember that day that you were being insubordinate?" Like they didn't say what she did. They were like, "Remember that day you were being insubordinate?" Well, unfortunately, that rubbed our executives the wrong way. So
hey, Vince McMahon.
Yes, that's exactly what they did, bro. That's exactly, and nobody talks about it, and it's a shame. It really is, because I'm telling you, and this is what bothers me. Mr. Ross of the Miami Dolphins would potentially have to sell the team because of tanking. Yet Dan Snyder can pimp out his cheerleaders, fire them, make sure he have to buy her own plane ticket back home.
That's wild.
Then fire her without telling her. And then, because all the stuff she had, they threw out.
That's wild.
All that stuff. Shorty said she had some memorabilia. Like she had like a special necklace that she always wore. Like, it was like her grandmother's or something like that. Something that was special to her. They threw it out. They threw everything out.
Oh yeah. Everything I didn't know that. Thank you for bringing that to my attention.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
And ready to the funny part? Ready to the funny part? That's just the beginning, bro. That's just the beginning.
They got like a whole like Illuminati in the NFL.
It's weird, bro. Like it's so weird. It's so bizarre, bro. Like it's if y'all ever are bored for a few hours, just look it up.
Oh, I'm about to go.
Yeah.
Listen, there are people, and it's a shame because there's some guys who say stuff, some guys who did it, but they want to be kept anonymous because you just participated in sex trafficking. So I get kind of why you want to be anonymous, but at the same time,
they turned the locker room into a brothel.
Yeah, bro, it was wild, bro. You got R. Kelly in there, and one I was crazy, bro. Like, listen. If y'all ever get bored, look into it because it's honestly wild. Some of the stories sound fake. It sounds fake, but then they have text messages and stuff to prove it. So you can't say that they're lying, but it just sounds so outlandish and it just sounds so weird.
Yeah.
That it's like,
That definitely made this show take a turn for we went down a little rabbit hole and opened up Pandora's box.
Bro, it's wild, bro. It's way too wild. And like I said, if you ever get bored, look into it. It's such a shame too. It really is, because a lot of those girls don't have a backup.
Yeah, that's all they have.
You know what I mean? Like
cheerleading,
yeah, you know what I mean. So they would do it because it's not like being a player. Because like when you're a player, you know, people know you. Like not a lot of people really look at the cheerleaders like that. The cheerleaders are basically the equivalent of ring girls in boxing, right? They're kind of just there for the live crowd. You know what I mean? Like more specifically, the closer people. Like that's really what it's for, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like when you hear all this stuff, dog, it makes you uncomfortable.
It does.
Yeah.
It makes you. Yeah. There was one story of Shorty got raped in the locker room. And like the executive, bro, it's so sad. And like hearing her say it, you can hear her like on the verge of tears, bro. On the verge, and like she had to take multiple, but it's wild, and it just blows my mind.
For
yeah,
bro, and it blows my mind to this day. At some point, I understand Roger Goodell, that's your buddy, but at some point, your buddy gonna have to face the consequences of his actions at some point.
Yeah, and he needs to face the consequences of his actions.
Oh,
if you're the commissioner and you know about it,
yeah, and hiding it, yeah, you should be
like you should be charged. That's he's an asset to the crime. He's an accessory. Accessory to the crime.
Accessory, yeah. And again, it's a shame because now, you know, it really is, man. For like I said, look into it. It's wild and it's crazy because like the more you dig in, the more you learn and the more you know. And by the way, Damien, it's worse than the plane ride from hell. It's even worse.
And I know about that because I'm a wrestling fan. So
me too. I'm a diehard wrestling fan, so I know it.
I know about this, man.
It's even worse. And the plane ride from hell was bad. Yes,
it was real bad.
But this one's even worse.
But the plane ride from hell, a lot of that was self-inflicted.
To be honest, like
yeah,
you know what I mean, like the attendee, when you listen to her tell the story, it was mostly Ric Flair kind of like
being Ric Flair.
Yeah, it was harassment.
Yeah, but if you know Ric Flair's history, Ric Flair has always been like they say. Even in college, he'll jump out the window or open the robe up, and he just exposed himself. And he didn't
tell stories about how there was.
He'll tell you
he came from somewhere in Europe and he did that.
Yeah, I mean that was Ric Flair. That's just what he did.
Yeah, but the thing is like what Ric Flair did. If Shorty went to court or she tried to sue him, that means sexual harassment.
It is. Right? I mean,
sexual harassment.
What it comes down to,
what this is sexual
flat out
assault.
Assault, right?
Yeah.
That's what happened. That's what's going on with the whole Washington football team, Commanders, whatever they want to call themselves. That's what's going on here, and it's just uncomfortable. It's just brutally uncomfortable. Like I said, if y'all ever get bored, look into it, and it's just so. It's just it really is so sad, especially when consider these guys got money. You got money.
You don't have to do that. Bless you.
Yeah, bro. I'm like, you know what I mean? You got money. You got kids. Some of these guys had wives. Like you got something y'all built, and y'all gonna throw it away what for 30 seconds? 30? Really, bro? Really? Like, be smart, dog.
Well, look, let's talk about the reason I got this hat on.
No, we're not talking about that. We're not.
Steph caught the Holy Ghost last night, didn't he?
He got tight. So obviously, Team LeBron won. No, I was never nervous about that.
I wasn't either, but
Steph
quiet as kept. Team Durant was competitive, bro.
Yeah, they was.
Yeah,
they were competitive. They were more competitive than I thought they were going to be. Like they could have won that third quarter, and that would have made things very interesting. I mean, they did win a quarter. I mean, Team Durant came out and played.
No, they did. They did. So Steph ended up winning the All-Star MVP award.
About time.
60. Well, I mean, it's
50 points.
Yeah,
but Steph to me used to not really take that game as serious, and I was hoping like, what? Come on, just for one time, you got to come out and show people, you know, just how great of a shooter you are. And oh my God, last night, it's not just the threes he was taking, it was from where he were taking them from. I mean, this dude is bananas, bro, on how he can just shoot the ball. It's amazing. It's amazing.
It really was. It was entertaining. Personally, I don't really care because everyone's like, "Oh my God, he hit 16 threes." I'm like, "Cool, get a Finals MVP award." Like,
it's on the way.
I mean, look, people said that his first finals. Listen, they said that his first finals.
To be honest with me, I think you could have went either or with him and Iggy. And honestly, that second one, I believe he deserved Finals MVP over KD. Like, he had a great game 1, 2, and 4. KD did the game 3, and he usually hit the shots in LeBron's face, and I think that's what made it overlook what Steph had done. But Steph came out and set the tone in game 1.
If you want to say, look, honestly, I don't care about him not getting the Finals MVP to this dude, to KD. I don't know what they were thinking about giving it to Iggy. I don't know.
Well, because
he held Bron. Meanwhile, Bron was dropping 30 on his head. Like, I never understood that.
I don't get it either because they say he stuck great defense. I mean, he made life tough on LeBron, but LeBron still got his points.
He got his points officially, and he basically Bron was still doing Bron things.
Yeah,
like, and
you know how it is. You know how the storyline goes.
How was Westbrook and Harden in the 75 list?
Well, hey, quiet is kept. I get what you're saying. I can make an argument for Westbrook. Harden to me still has a lot more to prove, but when you get those triple doubles, that's the reason he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. You get triple doubles 4 out of the last 5 years, like you average a triple double, like that's hard to do. I don't care if you're cherry picking for rebounds or whatnot. It's an accomplishment, and that's going to be the reason why he gets into the Hall of Fame. Not to mention he's an MVP of the league.
Westbrook went from getting triple doubles to sucking.
Yeah, but at one point in time, Westbrook was a dog. Westbrook was a dog. People didn't want to see Westbrook because you knew he was going to play hard from the time the clock went off to the time it went to 0.
Yep.
You knew you was going to get 120% from Russell Westbrook.
Yep.
Fortunately, that's the reason why he's virtually unplayable now.
Yeah, because he does too much.
Oh, I said that
Hey, but you know what? It was a storybook ending to have LeBron hit that game winner. It was great to see him and Mike hugging it out, and you getting to see two GOATs of a generation. It was great, man.
It's funny because Mike was hugging damn near everybody, and I kind of laughed a little bit. Because I was like, yo, this feels like a little too late.
Well, it's emotional. I feel like that
because it's emotional, but why? Because Kobe passed. You know what I mean?
It's because Kobe passed. When somebody close to me passes, it makes you realize, man, life is really short. Like,
no, it really. But this is where I kind of looked at it different. Like, he's doing to everybody else what Kobe was hoping and praying he would do to him, right? Like the whole hugging and like what he did to Luka, right? Like, I always felt like, I don't know, you should have done this before. And then it's almost like when Kobe retired, he kind of was like, you know what? He's going to be the one to do it. You know what I mean? Like, he kind of was like, he basically emulated my game. He plays a lot like me. So he, and on top of that, after Kobe stopped playing, Kobe was still there. He was still talking to people, you know what I mean? So I feel like MJ was kind of thinking, but it's like maybe both of you guys should have been like that. You know what I mean? And you're MJ. It's not like the NBA is gonna fine you for tampering. You're MJ. Like, they're not gonna do anything. But it was always weird because when he passed, like when Kobe passed, all of a sudden MJ started caring more about. He started talking to players, and I always felt like you kind of missed an opportunity, because if you and Kobe did it at the same time, I don't know, man. I maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just looking too deep into it, But I always feel like if they would do it at the same time, they would have had they could have started a mentoring program. And I don't know, I felt like that would have been special.
But that's not every player though.
Like that.
It's not just Mike who's like that. It's certain players that just don't mix and match with everybody.
Well, yeah, but again, let's be honest. There's only 2 people considered the GOAT right now. There's only 2 legitimate.
It's Mike and LeBron.
It's Bron, and exactly, it's Mike and Bron, right? So if you know what I mean, those are the only 2 legitimate options. And maybe Kareem, but even then, Kareem's not in this conversation because Kareem talks. He's out there, right?
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? MJ didn't really talk or anything like that. Then Kobe retires. Kobe started doing it, and I always feel like, man, if MJ did it at the same time as Kobe, I always felt like they could have a mentoring program for the youngsters, and they could have done something really, really special. I always felt like that.
But you also got to look at it like this. When MJ retired, that's when these guys were coming in the league. So he really only rocked with Kobe when he retired. So he showed that love and embraced Kobe. But Kobe to these kids were God. These kids, you hear the DeMar DeRozans, the Devin Bookers of the world, the Kyrie Irvings of the world. They grew up watching Kobe. So to have, to be playing in a game against Kobe or playing in an all-star game with Kobe or just even seeing him in passing, I think to me, the players wanted to talk to Kobe more than they wanted to talk to Mike. If you look at it from that aspect.
Because Kobe was their Jordan growing up.
Yeah, he was their Jordan.
They want to talk to him. Yeah.
So now with Kobe gone and they saw the connection that he had with Mike, I think Mike is more open to it. I think LaMelo kind of got him into that mode because he talks to LaMelo, he talks to the guys on his team first and foremost. But now, to have those comparisons, with him and LeBron, who's the GOAT, that was just an image. That was a beautiful picture. You know what I'm saying? That they're going to talk about. Did you see Mike hold the way him and LeBron embraced, or you see the way Mike embraced Luka? You know what I mean? It's, Mike is starting to get it now. He understands you can still be God tier and mingle with those beneath you. You can't not, give the advice that other players gave you, the Bill Russells gave you. You know what I mean? So, but I think last night just showed, how much people are starting to appreciate LeBron because his career livelihood is starting to, you just kind of start to see the writing on the wall a little bit.
Yeah, he's
you're
never.
You're gonna miss LeBron. You're gonna miss.
No,
LeBron,
they're never gonna miss LeBron. They're never gonna miss LeBron.
I will.
No, you're a hater. You're
I'm not a hater.
You know what I mean? Greg won't miss him. But again,
no,
LeBron is Zion.
Michael Jordan is the GOAT. I can't miss LeBron.
Nope. Exactly. You hit it around that.
Hey, Pride.
Bro, honestly,
pettiness, bro.
I don't. Oh, I'm so petty. I ain't gonna lie. But honestly, listen. I don't think people are really ever gonna truly miss LeBron. I don't think.
Did you hear our Cleveland cheer for him yesterday?
You said what?
You heard our Cleveland cheer for him yesterday?
That's Cleveland.
No, but Cleveland can still hold a grudge. We know Cleveland can hold a grudge.
No. But we got to remember, Cleveland isn't mad because Braun left. They're mad he never wanted them to chip that first go around.
Yeah.
Why do you think the second time that he left, why that outrage wasn't the same?
Well, I think
he won. He won. Yeah, he won.
Got them that chip, and they're like, you know what? It is what it is. We got the ring. Now we can move on. We can call ourselves champions. You know what I mean?
He said he might come back.
For his son.
Yeah, if his son.
For his son.
Yeah. He want to go play with Garland and them boys.
No way.
All right.
No.
If he do, he ain't gonna win a championship down there. So
Greg, what's your basketball team?
He can if he won't.
Greg, what's your basketball team?
I don't have a team.
Oh, that's what I thought. Yeah.
I don't have a team. As long as Braun don't win, I'm good.
Dang,
it don't matter if it don't matter.
Look, we're gonna talk. Listen, tomorrow we're gonna talk about LeBron and whether because people are gonna hold it against him if he leaves, and I'm like, if he's going to play with his son, I'm not holding it against him.
I don't care.
No,
he won the ring for the Lakers, so he has the right to leave.
Yeah.
He won the ring.
That's it. You know what I mean? Just like I said, personally, I don't care. I'm chilling. Shout out to Bron. That's my dude right there.
He might go want to play with Steph.
This is what I said. If he goes and if he leaves to play with Steph, or if he goes to Phoenix or Chicago, if he goes to a top team, then he gonna need some. We gonna need to give him some flack. We gonna have to hold Bron accountable here, right? But if he goes to either middle of the pack team or just goes to play with his son, I'm not holding it against him.
Hey,
I'm not.
Hey, Pride, I just wanted to mess with you and Freddie about this. You notice how they call everybody name regularly, and then they call Michael Jordan's name. Like you saw, he was the only one to be in the center stage.
Yeah, because he cried about it, because he demanded it. Because he was still crying and complaining. No. Let's tell the story now. Tell the full story. He's still crying, complaining, and moaning from that one time, his last year, when they gave him an all-star nod just because he was Michael Jordan, and Vince Carter was the starter, and he was like, I should be the starter. And Vince Carter's like, but I was voted, and they waited to the last second, and it's like, oh yeah, he relinquished starting lineup, and man, Jay was like this on the sideline. I'm so angry. The moment should have been all me, not split between me and him. He's still butthurt about that. So knock it off. Don't do that. I'll be petty. Come on. When it comes to MJ, ain't no person on God's green earth gonna out-petty me. You want to talk about it? Come on, stop playing with me. As I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted. Iverson says, well, even though CP3 is hurt on the bright side, he'll be ready for the playoffs. I think so.
Hey, but
I'll be honest with you, I don't think he needs 6 to 8 weeks.
But guess what though?
I just think they're doing that to be on the safe side with him.
We gonna see what Devin Booker really made of now.
We already done seen it. No.
Because I brought up this situation, and a lot of people looked at me like I was crazy because I feel like Devin Booker is an all-star. I don't think he's taking superstar status yet. And I want to see now, because I saw what he did in the bubble. I saw he led the Phoenix Suns to be undefeated in a bubble, but they were still fighting for their playoff lives. You bring in Chris Paul, and immediately you go from not making the playoffs to NBA Finals. So who's, you can say Chris Paul turned this team around. Now, even though he does have Devin Booker as 1A, 1B, whatever you want to call him.
But that right there, just immediately right then and there, Rob, you debunked everything you just said.
I can't.
You
could be one. You could be a 1B and not be a superstar.
No, you can't.
Yes,
you
can't.
Yes, name me one guy that's a 1B and he's not a superstar. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Chris Middleton.
He's not a 1B. Are you kidding me?
He's a B.
He's a 2 at best.
I know. I said it. I tried it. Oh, but with CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard.
He's not a superstar.
But he was a 1B.
See, no, he's not.
Yes, he was. When it came to that team, when it came to Portland, he was a 1B.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
He was a 2.
Okay, we'll call Devin Booker the 2, but he's just the primary scorer. He's just a primary scorer. Chris Paul is who puts everybody together. We're gonna see if they able to.
We're gonna see
if they can sustain that record without Chris Paul. Then I was proven wrong. But I just have to see it for myself.
I
you don't go from not making the playoffs to going to the finals because of one player, bro.
Which again, hold on,
Chris Paul. You bring Chris Paul, and you.
But you're missing the point. No, you're missing the point. You're acting like they brought in Cameron Payne, and he's what put them over the top. We're talking about Chris Paul, one of the greatest point guards ever.
The point guard.
Yes, come on, that's what we're talking about. We're also talking about a team who was lacking in one specific position. And what position was that?
The point
guard. And they went and got
not just a point guard. They were lacking in leadership.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Listen,
just because you're the point guard doesn't necessarily make you the leader of the team.
No. But the point guard they got just so happened to be
the best
great
leader in the NBA.
I ain't going that far.
One of the best leaders.
He's definitely one of the best leaders in the NBA, right? I have no problem saying that. So if you got a point guard, and he just so happens to be a top tier leader, I mean, because when Devin,
you were led by Devin Booker
balling.
beforehand,
Devin Booker was balling.
You couldn't even get into the playoffs. That's all I'm saying. If this was any other player, then we would be like, hey, he's not the guy that we think he is. He can't.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true.
I see it done all the time.
And again, you need to be careful with the whole playoffs thing, because you know who else made the playoffs? Trae Young. He ain't a superstar.
Not yet.
Not even close.
Not yet.
People are giving him that just because he made it the playoffs.
I feel like they use that superstar word too loosely.
Yeah, it's too loose now. Yeah.
I like Devin Booker. I really do.
Would you say Devin Booker's a superstar?
If you call Devin Booker a superstar, I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
But then you get mad because they call Trae Young a superstar?
Because that's different. That's way different.
What's the difference?
Because every time you put
he led his team to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Congratulations. He led his team to the Eastern Conference Finals. And every single time the moment got too big for him, he shrank. I don't see that with Book.
Put a 6'9" dude on me.
No. Before that, before Ben Simmons. Before any of that,
he was having a good series.
Hold on.
That's what made them put Big Simmons on him.
Supposedly, his dribbles was outstanding. He could create amazing separation, and he was the next Steph Curry. That's the rumor I heard.
Yeah, but
that's the rumor I heard.
Gonna be the next
the
Steph
dude
Curry.
was playing. He was not playing on no superstar level. As a matter of fact, I want to. Trae Young never in his career has he ever played at a superstar level. Ever. D-Book has.
Devin Booker has.
D-Book has played. That's what I'm saying. If you want to call him that, I'm not mad. D-Book has showed us he's a superstar.
Okay.
He had, but Rob, am I wrong though? Because he's done it in the regular season and he's done it in the playoffs.
No, he didn't. He shrank in the playoffs too.
How did he shrink in the playoffs? Please explain.
It was games that he was off. It was a lot. It was a lot of games.
And then,
games in the finals,
and there was a few games that he had off, no debate. But he had just as much, if not more, games where the kid was on fire. He was scorching. Every time they needed a bucket, who'd they go to? Book. Every single time they needed it. Whenever the offense was stagnant, who did they go to? Book.
But you can make that same argument for Trae.
No, but the problem was Trae would miss. That's the
Not
problem.
all the shots. He couldn't have missed that much with them making it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
All I'm saying is this: if you want to sit there and say that he's not a superstar, and you're saying that's definitive, I don't think that's fair. That's just me.
I'm saying with Devin Booker that the jury is still out. I'm not ready to definitively call him a superstar or say he's not one. But at this present moment, if you said name me superstars in the NBA, he's not the first guy on my list.
And you don't have to put him on the first name because I'm not saying he needs to be the first guy on your list. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying, he deserves to be on that list. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I would say Book is
in the finals and have back-to-back 40-point games in the finals, and he folded. Keep lying to yourself, Rob.
Yeah, I would say
that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Listen,
we're gonna see.
I'm not saying that the number one guy on your superstar list needs to be Devin Booker. I just want to clarify. That's not what I'm saying.
I feel like he's right there, but if he was, you get voted as a starter on the All-Star game.
I mean,
like not even on that global, like or not even say global, on that national level that people recognize you as a superstar.
Well, they don't like Devin Booker. Free D Book.
I don't know why. I love Devin Booker.
Well, you gotta. It's just because Devin Booker is a very emotional dude. So like, if he's tight,
I like him. He reminds me of the old
I like
school
it, but not a lot of people like it.
Old school, yeah.
You got that old school in him.
Like it, but I don't know, man. Look, if we live in a world where you can make an argument for Trae Young to be a superstar, then my boy Devin Booker.
I'm not saying that he is. I just wanted to see what was the difference. I'm not saying Trae Young is
That's the difference. The difference is, first of all, Trae Young is just not as good as Devin Booker. That's just
you making it sound like Trae Young is bad.
Compared to Devin Booker, he is. Compared to Devin Booker,
no, he's not as no.
No, he's nowhere near the level of Devin Booker.
No, if you want to say that Book is better than Trae Young, that's cool, but he's not light years ahead of Trae. Like
No, he's not light years ahead of Trae Young. What's an even bigger gap? Light years times infinity? What do you want me to say?
So you said Trae Young is here and Devin Booker is all
the way up there?
Come on, bro. I can't go that far.
Let me put it to you.
I can't go that far.
Real quick, Rob, when you wake up and you get out of bed, your feet touch what?
The ground.
Okay, that's Trae Young. Now, when you go, is anyone here religious at all? Is anyone here religious?
Yeah.
When you pray, where's your God?
I'm spiritual.
When you pray, where's your God?
Up.
Everywhere.
Up, right?
He's up everywhere. Around you.
So that's Braun, right? That's Braun. And now his Gabriel, his version of Gabriel, that's D-Book. If we compare these two, it's not playing, man. It's not playing, bro. Trae Young is
man. Hey, you got. Oh God.
Now, can it change? It can change. It's a possibility.
Wow.
Trae Young can all of a sudden just,
Trae is a dog, bro. That's crazy.
But how?
Trae is a dog, bro.
Yeah, Trae is
he's a puppy. Come on, bro.
Just because bro.
My guy's a chihuahua. And listen, because people say, "Oh, he's a dog." Yeah, I understand.
Ice Trae is a dog.
I understand that, but you know what else is a dog? Chihuahuas, and also a Doberman. They're both dogs, but they're not the same. They're not the same.
I get you. Hey, to each his own, brother.
I'm just saying, if you're talking about him in and of himself as a player, okay. If you're going to compare him to Devin Booker, no. I'm not going to sit here and be nice. And
I get you. We know that.
Nah, got it.
We know that.
With that nonsense.
Nah, bro.
Devin Booker, not even close. It's not even debatable. In my opinion, it's not debatable. It's not debatable because wait, Devin Booker does everything better than Trae Young.
No, he doesn't.
I'm gonna say it one more time. Devin Booker, in my opinion, he does everything better than Trae Young.
He's not a better floor general than Trae Young.
He's
at all.
Trae Young is a floor general. What are we doing pretending like he all of a sudden the kid can run
a floor general for his team, for the Atlanta Hawks?
He's not a floor general.
He runs the floor. He puts everybody in place.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, who does it then?
That's Nate McMillan, bro.
No, that is Trae Young.
But hold on, no. Before Nate McMillan, explain to me the offense that Trae Young ran. Spoiler alert, he didn't run an offense. He didn't. That's Nate McMillan, bro.
But the point guard is essentially the coach on the court, right?
No. A point guard doesn't mean you're a floor general. Is Russ a floor general?
He used to be.
No, he never was.
He used to be. I ain't saying he was a great floor general, but he tried.
See, here's the thing. People think just because you're a point guard, you're a floor general. No, that's not the case. John Wall is a point guard.
No, you're right. That's proven with Golden State.
Damian Lillard is a point guard.
Curry is not the floor general. It's Draymond.
You said what?
I say you look at Golden State. Steph Curry is not the floor general.
It's Draymond.
It's Draymond, yeah.
Right.
Well, who's the point guard?
I get that, but I'm saying for Atlanta Hawks in that situation, Trae Young is the floor general. There's nobody who
I agree with that.
Who dominates the ball more than Trae Young. He puts everybody in position.
Greg, how can you agree? Explain to me. When Nate McMillan he took over halfway through the year, correct?
Yes.
They had the same roster. Greg, before Nate McMillan, they were discombobulated, and the biggest knock on Atlanta was that they had no offense. Trae Young was the primary ball handler. All of a sudden, Nate McMillan goes in, and all of a sudden, this offense is great.
Okay, but Trae Young still has to go out there.
Than the one they had before.
But how can you sit there and say that Trae Young is a floor general?
He still got to execute.
The only thing you upgraded was the coach.
He still got to execute it.
They got to
regardless if the coach is calling plays.
But that doesn't mean you're a floor general. Executing does not mean you're a floor general.
So you saying Chris Paul calls the plays and not Monty Williams? Is that what you're saying?
They have a dialogue about it. They have a dialogue about it.
You don't think Nate McMillan tossed to Trae Young?
They probably have dialogue. Bro, when you see him bring the ball up, Trae Young is looking at the sideline, bro.
Most point guards do. Most point guards do.
Yeah, that's any
point guard.
Except for floor generals. That is the point I'm making.
No, even Chris Paul looks to Monty. He's still gonna call what Monty wants. And if he sees something, he'll call it audible.
How when Monty says that he gives CP3 free range? Monty Williams just came out and said, I give Chris Paul free range.
But you're still going to have to step up and be a coach. And you might see something.
And I understand that. And there's times Monty Williams has to do that.
Point guards and coaches are constantly communicating with each other?
I understand. There's times when the coach has to step up. I get it. I understand that. But to be a floor general, you need to go stretches without looking at the sideline. Chris Paul does it.
Stretches without looking at the sideline.
Hold on. Chris Paul does it. LeBron James does it. Those are floor general. Rondo does it. That's a floor general. A dude who just goes, yo, go here. This is the play we're running. Hey, yo, hear me out. That's a floor general.
So you never seen Trae Young do that?
Guard is someone who looks at the coach and the coach says, run this. Okay. Hey, yo, we're running this.
So you never seen Trae Young be a floor general.
You said what?
You never seen Trae Young do that.
Do what?
What you just mentioned as a floor general.
Floor general.
He'll do that for like what, one play, and then at the end of the day, it's just him pulling up for a three.
Hey, you're very biased, Pride.
How?
If you don't like somebody,
no,
like somebody.
How can I be biased? I'm not even a Phoenix fan. How am I biased? I'm not even a Phoenix fan.
Hey, if you don't like somebody, you don't like nobody. Hey, just because you're not a Phoenix fan, don't mean you don't like Chris Paul.
Is Chris Paul not a floor general?
He is one of the best.
You're being biased. Then you're being biased. Like. Man, I'm saying,
like when you don't like somebody, you don't like somebody. I don't care what we say.
It's not that I don't like Trae Young.
You don't like Trae Young.
I don't hate him.
You have to, but the way you talking.
How?
I'm about to take a sabbatical.
Devin Booker is better in every aspect of the sport we call basketball.
Hey, Pride, you about to make me take a sabbatical.
Take a sabbatical then.
I had to use his own one against him.
Take a sabbatical, man. All I'm saying is this, bro.
Pride Bayless is in the building.
Brian Bayless.
Deep Book is just better. That's it.
Man.
That's just me.
I should have known, though. You did say LeBron was the GOAT.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
No, he is. No, Bron is the GOAT.
No, Greg, stop it, Greg. Greg,
All-Star game. He real good at that.
Gregory.
He real good at the All-Star game.
Gregory, grow up. Right? You're not gonna slander the good name of LeBron James.
Hey, before we end, though, I think this is something we can all agree on. Let's give a shout out to the Undertaker. He's gonna be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. I am excited about that. I'm a huge wrestling fan. Pride, whenever you need somebody to talk wrestling with you on your show, bro, you can hit me up, bro. I'm a huge wrestling fan, bro.
On Wednesdays, I love wrestling, bro. Like I love wrestling. Honestly, I felt like they were never gonna retire the Undertaker unless it was gonna be in Texas. I felt like if this year it was in New Orleans, they wouldn't retire.
It wasn't happening.
Like, nope, because we're retiring you in your home state. Honestly, one of, if not the greatest character in the history.
Definitely on the Mount Rushmore.
We'll have that conversation one day. But for me, the Undertaker was always this dude that, like, with Kane, they were like, oh yeah, he got burned in a fire. I never believed it, right?
Yeah.
Triple H, he's like, I never believed it.
Yeah.
I never believed when Kane was Isaac Yankem. Well, I never believed that. I never believed Papa Shango. I never believed any of that. Never believed any of that. I really believe that Undertaker really was from Death Valley.
Yeah, I thought he was dead, man. I mean, I remember
100%.
talking to my cousins, like, man, he got powers for real.
Yeah. When I grew up and realized wrestling was fake, and when he did his thing with Bray Wyatt and the lightning struck, I was like, this is real. I don't care what. And I know, and this is adult pride saying wrestling is fake. Bray Wyatt doesn't really live in a swamp. Sister Abigail doesn't exist. But those lightning hit, and I was like, this is real life.
This is real life.
It got popping, yo. It got popping, bro. Like, for a full minute, I was like, this is lit.
I mean, for the Undertaker to be one of those guys that, like, completely understood kayfabe, like, he stayed in character. Like, the things we see from him now, real wrestling fans are so shocked every time to hear him telling stories or to hear him telling you behind the scenes, because that's just not what he did. Like, you would see Undertaker out, even on the road, he's wearing all black. Like, he didn't talk much. He's with Paul Bearer. Like, you know, and to see the respect he had in the locker room, he was the general. He was the captain. Everything that happened in that locker room, it was all went to the Undertaker's face. You know what I'm saying? If you had a problem, the Undertaker told you how to fix it. He was Vince McMahon's right-hand man. Like,
he was the Vince McMahon of that locker room. If anybody had a problem, Undertaker was like, all right, bro.
He was gonna be judge, jury, and executioner.
No problem. And it's funny. People don't realize just how long he's been around. Do you happen to know when he debuted, bro? 1987.
That's crazy. That's 1 year before I was born, bro.
Rob, how old are you?
I'm 33. That's 1 year before I was born, man. Like,
that's how long.
The Undertaker was part of my childhood, bro. I remember
he raised me. He raised me.
The Ministry of Darkness. Like, I remember all of that.
Listen, in my mind, he was gonna do. Remember when he had Stephanie tied up?
Yeah, something's gonna happen.
I thought he was gonna put a Washington Commanders. I swear to God, I thought we was gonna watch it live.
Do something strange for a little piece of change.
Yo, he's like, cause there's something about you, girl. Like, yo, like on some real stuff, yo. Like, the Undertaker is the only guy, the only character that I fully bought into.
Yeah.
Even after I knew wrestling was fake.
You knew it was fake, but you like, but
it's still
right there. He real.
he real.
And not to mention the most legendary entrance of all time. When you heard that bell toll,
I'm gonna tell you this right now.
You knew it was real.
You know you're special because we all know how Vince McMahon is with time. Like he's always like, yo, you know you're special when a Royal Rumble ramp, Vince lets you walk it at your slow pace.
At your
pace. How you know you a Hall of Famer.
With your music.
That's it. Let him do the whole thing. Your music gonna repeat twice, and it don't matter. You take your time.
Man.
You take your time.
Man, shout out to the Undertaker, man. Congratulations. Well deserved. Well deserved.
So I'm gonna talk about this on Wednesday. I saw the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
I don't know what was worse. Brock winning the title.
And I love Brock
Or
Lesnar.
Brock winning the Royal Rumble.
I think him win it both. I have to go both.
Ready the funny part? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna do all this and they're gonna.
And I love Brock Lesnar, especially Cowboy Brock. This is my favorite character.
Ponytail Brock.
This is my guy.
Yo, Greg.
My guy.
Greg, have you ever seen a dude who just don't give a F about his job? So he just show up and does literally whatever he wants.
Whatever he wants.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
Now imagine if that dude was big and steroided up, and you can't beat him up. That's Brock Lesnar.
That's Brock Lesnar.
Honestly, they're gonna go to Vince and go like, so Brock, you're gonna lose. He's gonna look at him. He goes,
you say I'm gonna win? Oh yeah, you're gonna win, Brock.
He's like, I'm gonna win. He's like, yeah, no, look, you're gonna wrestle him for 45 minutes and you're gonna lose. So 3 F5s, a German, another F5, and then I win. 45 seconds. Let's get it.
Let's go. Hey, no, but you should have saw him on the Pat McAfee show. It was a great interview, and to see Brock Lesnar doing Stone Cold impersonation. What? Drink 1 beer. What? 2 beers. What? Go to Jetty.
I tell people this all the time. You put Brock in a position he's comfortable in, and he's one of the most entertaining dudes you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
Hey, if you put him in a position where he's comfortable, because he comes out, Greg, imagine this. His job is to perform in front of people. And this man is like, I hate people.
He don't like
people.
He don't like people.
He's like, I hate people. I hate them.
People.
But I can go in the stadium and perform in front of them and it don't matter. I'm like, all right, Brock. I'm like, you
right, yeah.
Hey, we gonna have to. Hey, Freddie, if you're still watching this, man, me and Pryor, we're gonna take over the wrestling show. We need a wrestling show division,
bro. We'll make it interesting, bro. We'll make it interesting.
Our rocks for wrestling, bro.
Listen, bro. Listen, bro. I'm gonna find out the hard-hitting questions. Listen. When we interview guys, guess what I'm asking them? If I'm blessed enough to interview CM Punk, I'm asking him how big is Batista's. You know what? I'm gonna ask the hard-hitting questions. That's what we're here for. You saw the man change. Let us know. Like, does he got? That's what I'm here for. I'm here to ask the hard-hitting questions. I don't care what no one says. That's what I'm here for.
That's what I'm here for, bro. Hey, I'm gonna let you take that one over, bro.
Rob. I'm gonna say you co-signed it too. That's it. Listen, if I go down, you come with me. We go down together.
My boy Prime, man.
Let me show about before I get us in trouble.
Oh, this
has been ASAP in the morning. Thank you for Dustin for being here. Dustin, hopefully you have safe travels. Jay also is here. Appreciate you being here. Whip, it was a pleasure, Brody. Definitely can't wait to have you back here. On behalf of Greg and Rob, it's your boy Pride. We're back here tomorrow. 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central. Until then, y'all know what to do.
We go.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.